Cool.
Politicians and celebrities make deals behind closed doors, promises broken, and their income source. Hidden agendas run the grand parade. In the circus, choose a masquerade. Believe me, I wouldn't lie. I've been given money, power, and fame to keep you in line. Television screens bright and loud, sell you dreams, make you proud. Pop the bubble, see the cage you're in. Start the revolution, let the truth begin. Welcome to the chaos.
Welcome, everyone. We are here today. We are going to do a bunch of news first because a lot of cool things happen in the world. And then at the end, we'll do our topic of the day, which is Gen Z is cooked, the hopeless generation. So the first thing that we have to mention today is what's going on with Candace Owens and Ian Carroll. So I'm very bad at explaining this because it is a little convoluted, but I want you guys to listen to it because it's interesting and we should all know about this stuff. So let me show you guys what's up. This is what Ian Carroll posted, and I think he posted it. Is that it? No, that can't be. Here we go. This is the one. That's it. Wait, no, that's pinned. Did they take it away? Okay, here we go. RFK, blackmail. All right, so this is what is going on today. I don't know if Damon is back from getting his a drink. What's up?
Hello.
All right, so good. I want you to hear so you can tell me what you think. I might play it a little bit faster because I don't have this type of lifestyle. He does speak a little fast, so you guys are just gonna have to keep up.
So the Bobby Kennedy blackmail story is currently breaking in many directions all across the internet, and American politics is not going to be the same after this weekend. That's not hyperbole. This is not just a hook, and I don't really know where to start. But this is the kind of story that I've gotten enough calls from enough people tonight and there's enough going on that I feel like we need to make a video right now to keep some people safe and to get as much as we all know out on the internet right now so that everyone can be safe. And the best place for everyone to start is at Candace's video that she put up today, that she very aptly titled One Nation Under Blackmail. Go watch it. She does a way better job of explaining a bunch of what's going on than I could. But as soon as I was like 10 minutes into it, and then I started getting phone calls from sources telling me more information that is corroborating and taking it even further than what is exposed in that video. And I have sources telling me that there are people in like media and around Bobby that know about this and know it's coming and are trying to protect him and save him from this. But it is past that. And there is no saving anyone from this, I think. And we just have to deal with what's about to happen. So I'm going to leave all of that out. And we're going to start the story here with our girl, Jessica, House and Habit. She had tasked one of her writers, Emily Hagan, with writing a hit piece about Candace Owens. They were trying to create or dig up some dirt on Candace's husband for some reason to take her down. For reasons we'll kind of get to in a second. Emily submitted a draft and Jessica, House and Habit, was having her girl, I believe Olivia Nuzzi, read through it. And it was like, we can't publish that. It's too 4chan-y. House and Habit clarified that it needs to be a clean shot to take down Candace Owens. Good fucking luck with that. If you don't remember who Olivia Nuzzi is, she's the woman that had the sexting scandal with RFK last year, who then cozied up to House and Habit for reasons that are not entirely clear and sort of started secretly editing there behind the scenes and kind of replacing people and getting really close to Jessica Reed Krause, House and Habit, for reasons that are still not entirely clear as far as I'm aware. To be fair, there's a lot that is not entirely clear because this is so complicated. Everything in this video is hearsay and rumors. And obviously when they tried to come to Candace and it created all this drama, and Candace don't take no fucking shit. And Jessica had been super mean to the writer of the article and had then fired her. And so her and Emily had all this drama, and then her other best friend, and it had gotten super fucking vitriolic. And eventually Emily was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go to Candace and come clean and say what's going on. That's how we got this video. And I was only 15 minutes into this video when I started getting interrupted by all kinds of calls from all kinds of people all over the country that have more information about this, because this story is way past the point of no return. And it is way bigger than some girl drama. So at the second Trump Butler rally in July of last year, House and Habit was hanging out with some of the people that I know and apparently receiving a bunch of phone calls all about this blackmail situation with the Olivia Nuzzi sexting scandal. And while she was taking calls, she was kind of filling them in excitedly on the story as she was getting it, kind of as though she was going to write a piece about it. And what they were told is that it was many, 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 many instances of recorded video sexting stuff. They were told in some form that Olivia Nuzzi's husband was in on recording it, whether that is him tapping her phone or her and him as a husband-wife couple kind of targeting him. I mean, Olivia Nuzzi did insert herself into the RFK campaign, and then all this stuff happened. And then when I was at Rescue the Republic event just a few months later, I was hearing all kinds of rumors, and a lot of people were hearing rumors about dick pics that were coming out that never came out. I suspect that that was a misunderstanding of this story sort of being kind of rumored around. So what we got was a story that Olivia Nuzzi and him had a romantic, emotional connection over the phone that had caused her, it was inappropriate, and he apologized. And so she left the campaign sort of, and then went and got real cozy with House and Habit, who had a lot of details, who was rad. I don't know what happened there, but I know that what a very trusted person on my end told me that they heard at that event was that it was not just that. It was recordings of video sex. There's also a lot of swirling rumors of other people that he's been having sex with that are very heartbreaking and inappropriate. But I started to wonder, who might Olivia Nuzzi and possibly her husband, who, if they'd had that, who might they have passed such blackmail to? Either sold it or been sent by some group. And you need look no further than her Wikipedia page to learn that in 2013, just out of university, while still in university, she volunteered as an intern for Anthony Weiner's New York City mayoral campaign. If you don't know about Anthony Weiner, look it up. And that is a direct tie to Huma Abedin and to Hillary Clinton. And to, at that point, just pick your term for whatever deep state groups you want to talk about. That blackmail could be anywhere by now. But I think we all know who has it. And Candace certainly knows who has it.
All that we're all doing at the moment is pretending RFK Jr.'s unflinching loyalty and, quite frankly, his fear of saying anything negative about Israel. Flip Dave Smith here.
The worst humanitarian catastrophe in the world right now. And the idea that you, who are supposed to be the anti-neocon, anti-war presidential candidate, are immediately, on October 7th, before we even had an investigation, before we even knew what happened there, you immediately say, what basically you said, everything they say about Ukraine. You said it was an unprovoked attack, which, like, come on, give me a break. An attack from Gaza against Israel is unprovoked. And then you said, we have to support them in whatever it takes. Well, look, sir, we're watching it right now. This is whatever it takes.
And just to clarify, there's a lot of other evidence that Israel and Israel-aligned people are involved in having this blackmail, but I don't want to get into details. Find handler that's close to him, because it must be very close in order to be managing his tweets and managing his appearances and everything he's doing. And it sounds like there's a lot of people that are trying to protect him from this coming out, but it is already coming out. And unfortunately, it is out enough that journalists are in danger. And the point of this video is to let everyone know that the journalists are all in connection, and we are all talking, and we all know the story, and we have all shared it already, and we know who did it. There are other people too that have information about this stuff that are in positions that are said is correct, but I know that enough of it is going on, and I'm getting it from like 5 to 6 different sources, 7 different sources tonight, that this is coming out. And the next months are going to be completely insane. To everyone who's going to be watching this unfold, think very critically, take your time. Don't trust anyone. Don't trust me. Just take your time and watch it come out, and don't rush to judgments. There is going to be media spin on media spin on media spin. There will be personal attacks, character assassinations. The entire playbook is about to come out. Jessica, the time to come clean is right now. You have an opportunity to tell the truth. And Bobby, I am sorry that this is how this has to happen, but your opportunity to tell the truth is coming right up. And to everyone that's going to say, I told you so, you're right. You did tell us so. So the Bobby Kennedy.
Okay. So do you understand like kind of what's going on, Damon, or was it too confusing still?
Well, I remember from, I think it was October last year when this stuff first came out about Olivia Nuzzi claiming that her ex was trying to leak the story. So I don't know what's different now with Candace being involved.
Well, with Candace, I guess they couldn't find anything against her, so they tried to find something against her husband. And when they couldn't, there was a whole bunch of emails and text messages back and forth with different people, basically saying like, we have to make up something and it needs to be really good so we can get her in one clean shot so then she can go away. And I guess whoever it was, one of the people who were in the text messages just got fed up about it and actually sent everything to Candace Owens. So she's like, she knows everything that's going on. She has all the proof of like what they were doing. So
to do what? To take down RFK?
No, this specifically to take down her So because they specifically want to take down her, this specific person, now she's trying to take them down. And because they are connected to RFK, you know, he's got to go too. But it looks like there's enough people, separate independent reporters that have information on RFK that it looks like it's going to come out anyways. So
See,
obviously,
I agree with a sentiment that Adam put in the chat. You can't blackmail somebody who don't give a shit. Why would RFK give a shit about this? Like, so what? Like, you've got his dick pics, maybe. So what? You've got evidence of him sexting somebody who I'm sorry, right? But if you're RFK, if you're married, if you've got a whole bunch of kids, have you seen what Olivia Nuzzi looks like? She's not the prettiest girl, but for a guy like RFK, that's a catch.
gosh.
Like, why would you give a shit? Just be like, yeah, I hit that. Like, oh, but you're married, but that's having an affair. But like, she's not. Apparently, like, I'm a fucking Kennedy. What do you expect I'm gonna do? You're a Kennedy. If you didn't have an affair, it would be weird. Like, I mean, let's be honest. It's in your blood, for fuck's sake. I mean, I'll take it as a badge of honor. Look, you look like that. You're that old. You sound like that, but you still managed to hit a girl who's like 30 years younger than you. Good on you. Like, what's he got to be afraid of? And her ex wants to leak this shit. Like, apparently this was going on like while they were together. And the implication is that he filmed her having sex with him, apparently. Like, have you seen what this guy looks like?
No.
Ryan Lizzer. Have you seen what Ryan Lizzer looks like?
No, do I want to?
He looks like the kind of guy that would film somebody who's 40 years older than his wife fucking his wife. That's what he looks like. It's like, dude, I don't think you realize what blackmail is.
Is it this
It's
guy?
like you're going to be shaming yourself more than you're shaming the other dude.
Is that him?
Let me see. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, that's the dude. Doesn't he look like somebody who's sitting in a corner masturbating his weird, wrinkly micro penis while some dude who's 70 years old is just pounding the shit out of his wife?
I could see that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a weak jawline right there.
You can imagine like RFK like peeling off some crusty condom after he bangs his wife. And it's like, can you let me know where I can throw this away? And he's like, oh, don't throw it away. Give it to me. I'll save it for later.
He kind of looks like Austin Powers.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between Austin Powers and Sheldon Cooper.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, I can totally see that. But the one thing that Ian...
Hang on a second. Honestly, please explain this to me. How are you going to blackmail a dude? And you're like, I've got video of you. Doing what? Fucking my wife. While I'm no, you don't. I don't believe you got that video. Yeah, I do. I'm the one who filmed it. Wait, so you're going to go to the press and be like, I filmed this dude fucking my wife. Okay, go ahead. It's like, what kind of gotcha is that?
Okay, but this is, I know that allegedly, supposedly, blah, blah, blah rumors were that RFK's ex-wife found out he was cheating because he had like a book where he would like write like, you know, face the demons or today didn't do anything and then like succumb to the demons and like all the sexual things he did with random people. Apparently he was getting it a lot when he was married to his last wife. And then she found the book and then she like offed herself. so yeah. So I can understand why he might be a little, but then again, you know what? No, I don't think it's just banging people. I don't think like, look, if like, let's just hypothetically, let's say you are married to someone forever, you have kids with them, they're perfectly lovely to you, nothing's ever happened, and then you see like a diary where they're banging, you wouldn't off yourself unless it was something like so vile that they did, so immoral that they did, that you couldn't live with knowing you had anything to do with that type
Well,
of person.
you don't know. That was a different time back then. You know, like sensibilities were different. It's a pretty shameful thing, especially if you're in the public eye. Like somebody like cheats on you and it's going to be like a big massive story. It could be enough to push revenge. I'm not saying it wasn't anything worse. It could have been. We don't know. I mean, this is politics. This is like, you know, the wealthy elite. They do fucked up shit. Yeah, it's true. But I mean, who knows?
I know that he was on Epstein's plane a few times, and he publicly came out and said, I was just getting, you know, traveling from here to there. I didn't get down. I didn't do anything, blah, 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 blah. Right. So we know there's some shady stuff there. And then
I'll tell you what. I think that he genuinely, now maybe this is me being hopeful, I think he genuinely didn't have anything to do with Epstein in a bad way. And the only reason why I think that is we know that Trump has been cleared of anything Epstein related. If you trust the evidence that's out there. Yes, he was listed on the flight logs, but not to the island. I think it was on 2 occasions, and both times he was flying to somewhere in America for meetings, and his calendar confirms that it was business meetings that Epstein wanted to sit in on in some capacity. And this was before they had the Mar-a-Lago thing where he got banned from Mar-a-Lago and Trump's other properties. So that like drew a line under anything that they had business related wise afterwards. When he threw Epstein out of his property and banned him from the other properties, that was apparently it. And then they were like, oh, his name is mentioned in the investigation. Like, I can't remember how many times. But then we found out later that the only times his name was mentioned in the investigation by the witnesses was when they were questioning the witnesses to say whether they saw Trump on the island or on the plane going to the island. And in all of those lines of questioning, every single time, the witnesses said no, they didn't see him on the plane to the island or at the island. So apparently that pretty much in my opinion, that rules Trump out, because any time, if you know full well, if there was any question with any witness saying so much as that, yes, we saw him going to the island, that would have been all over the fucking media. If they had him on the logs flying to the island, that would be plastered all over the media. But the best they could do is say like, oh, he's on the flight logs and he was mentioned by witnesses, but they wouldn't say to what capacity because it was fucking nothing. So I think if you're in Trump's situation, you know about that and you know that you've been cleared of that and you know that that's a big fucking deal, you wouldn't bring somebody on board as part of your team if you know that that mud is going to stick to them. So I think Trump would be pretty fucking careful about like, hey, look, the rumor is that he was on the plane and all this kind of shit. I think he'd be very, very, very careful about letting that guy anywhere near his administration.
I do think he's being protected. RFK is being protected. And I do think that I think he did something a little more than just banging people. I think something definitely happened. I think they got some blackmail on him, like some real stuff. Something that would destroy his perception with everyone forever. That being said, I still think no matter how horrific it is, he'd be better off coming out and saying, look, I did this. I was blackmailed doing this. They have stuff doing this, whatever. That's it. Like, he would be much better off if he just admitted to that and say, look, but I would still like to do this and whatever. And, like whatever happens, or come up with a replacement, or maybe like the people are like, look, at least you told us what you did. will let you keep doing this, and now you can do things without, having this over your head. That's what I think. Like look, let's say the worst case scenario. Like, let's say he did some child sacrifices or whatever. Let's say he did like the worst case scenario that you could think of.
you did some child sacrifices, but yeah, we're gonna let you carry on trying to sort out our food.
Like, yeah, I think look, I just think look, if it were me, they caught me, let's say they drugged me, they had a knife to like my spouse's head, like, you got to do this so we have something on you, or nobody leaves this room and everybody's, offed, right? Let's just say like you're in that situation, so you have to do what you got to do, blah, 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 right? So you do what you got to do. And then you come out and like, look, if he goes, look, this is what they do to people. I ended up in the wrong room. They had this over me. They threatened this, this, and this. I felt I didn't have a way out. So I did the thing. And now I just really want to fix the food because yeah, that was bad, but I didn't have a choice. And now I'm trying to do better because I feel really guilty about what I had to do, blah, blah, blah. And I think even if like worst case, look, he did a little adrenochrome, right? He did a little sacrifices. He ate, okay, whatever, I don't know, whatever. Just like make something up, something horrific. And then he just goes, look, I did it. I'm sorry. Can I fix it? I think we'd be like, as a collective, we'd just be like, yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure everybody has, and we need to just let people come out and just be like, all right, thank you for telling us, please fix the food now. Thank you for telling us, please fix the government now. Thank you for telling us, please fix, we're just going to just spend the rest of your life making it up to as many people as you can by making everything better. Just end the wars. Just do that. Just, whatever. I get it. You walked in the wrong room.
And you think that would work, honestly?
I think at this point, unfortunately, we already know that pretty much everybody that is known is blackmailed. So since they're all blackmailed, if you just admit it, the backlash would be less, because we'd at least know, look, we know your deep, dark secret. We know the thing that they use to blackmail you. Once we get over that, now just make it up to all of us. Just make it up to humanity. Just spend the rest of your life doing that. I mean, what's wrong with that? I think that's fine. Look, what would you do? You end up in a room. Somebody has something to your spouse's head or your kid or something, and they're like, either you do this, we film it, or we get rid of them in front of you. You're going to do it.
That's the thing. That's the thing. What is the thing they want me to do? Right?
What is the thing they want me to do? Imagine the story. Look, the red shoe.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Go hunt those ankle-less children.
If it's what the initial story said, which is banging that Olivia Nuzzi chick, no problem. No problem. I'll pretend like I hate it. I'll pretend like I hate it. I'll look at my wife and I'll be like, I'm sorry, hon. But worst case scenario, like if it's some dude, then I'm sorry, I'm going to be having to find a new wife.
So if they said you gotta bang this dude, you'd be like, all right, well, it was nice knowing you, sweetheart.
If they're like, you could have banged that dude, I'd be like, nah, I gotta find a new wife.
Wow, the mother of your children, my gosh.
Yeah, but you know what? The kids are gonna be like, at least daddy wasn't gay.
Wow. Okay. Horrible. Anyways, moving on.
How's that horrible?
I don't know. I mean, I think you take one for the team being the family. You don't got to enjoy it. Just
no, you don't.
Keep eye contact with your wife. Just be like, pretend.
No,
it's
you
me,
know
honey.
why?
Go out there
Look,
and get it done.
Kat, okay, I'm gonna say something, Kat, now, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
Mm.
So I'm saying you don't bang the dude. Mm-hmm. You just tell the guy to off your wife. You find a new wife, right? in that scenario, what happens? You lose a wife. Okay. In the other scenario, you bang the dude.
Mhm.
Now you're gay. And what
I don't
happens
think it
later? You tell
happens like that. I don't think
no,
it
no, no, no,
happens
no, 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 no.
like that.
Every
That's not how
man
it
in the
works.
chat, every man in the chat knows.
Oh god.
It doesn't matter if you had a gun to your
Are
head.
you
What
saying
you
that
did is gay.
like a dude is so far superior to the woman just one time and now you like that's all you want?
Everybody knows, and you know in your heart what you did there. It doesn't matter if there was a gun to your head or to your wife's head. In fact, the fact that the gun was pointed at your wife's head means that you had a very clear option to say, no, I ain't doing this. She has
Okay,
to
look,
die.
what
Sorry.
if the option
But
is
wait a
no,
second.
no, no,
Wait
no,
a
no,
second.
no, no.
What I was going to ask you was, imagine if you do it. You say to the guy, okay, and you bang the dude.
Mhm.
And any guy is going to be like, oh, you did it to save your family. You know, good on you. But in their heart, they all know that was gay.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
Okay, stop,
yes,
stop.
no,
No.
don't say, oh my gosh. Don't say, oh my gosh, because you know this too, Kat. What happens to women? We've discussed this. What happens to women if they marry a dude and then they find out later on that that dude was gay in college?
It's different. It's different. Okay, how about this
It's not
scenario?
different. It's not different. That wife is not looking at the husband the same way. You know, and I know that
It's
what's
fine.
going to
I
happen
like
sometime down the
literally
line, she's going to leave him. He's going to lose that wife regardless. So why not lose the
or at least
wife,
he didn't.
but keep your dignity?
No, okay. Okay, this is the scenario. How about either they off you and your entire family, or you I guess for you it's bang a dude is like the pinnacle, like worse than like the human hunt, worse than the red shoe ankle broken thing, and worse than the drink the blood of the youth, worse than the sacrifice, like worse than all of those things. I guess
Drink some kid's
dude.
blood or kill some kid. That's killing some kid is fine, but the banging a kid, I don't even want to talk about that. That's just fucked up. So that's why it's mentioned dude, because it's not as TOS.
Okay. Like, but just imagine worst case, whatever the worst case is, or you and your entire family is offed.
Bang Lizzo.
Yeah, like if that's your pinnacle worst case.
Well, I could probably think of something worse, but I'm tired. So, dude, let's just say banging Lizzo. That's
Okay.
probably worse than banging a dude.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you would still
Banging trans male Lizzo.
Okay. Anyways, let's just move on. I think he should come clean. Whatever he did, whatever weird rituals, if he was like licking Moloch's feet or something, I don't know what they're into. Whatever it is, he should just come clean and
Okay,
fix
let's be honest.
the food.
Let's be
Fix the
honest.
food.
If the only story
Mhm.
is that he banged this dude's wife and the dude's got video of it, and
That is
he's being
so
blackmailed.
dumb to even care about. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If that's all the story is, then, in my opinion, yeah, he can weather that storm. Just don't capitulate. Carry on doing your job.
But like from
And
what I like, the alleged rumors are that he has gone through thousands of different people on the
even
side.
if it's thousands, if all as it is if all that it is that he's fucking chicks, it's sexting, or it's videos of him doing shit with chicks,
Mhm.
even if it's him sending dick pics to chicks, if that's all it is,
Mhm.
I don't see any problem with it. Even if it's thousands, like I think Trump would want to be his friend even more and be like, dude, you fucking got to teach me how you do that, especially with your
Oh
voice,
gosh.
right?
God,
No, but
okay.
seriously.
Well, I
But
mean, I think Trump can go like he works out, I eat McDonald's. There's a clear difference.
yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he works out. You know what he sounds like. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's probably like not. I don't want to poke fun at anybody for something nasty like that, but it's true. It's true. It's hard to pull a girl if you're like 30 years older, plus you sound like that. But
I think it's way easier if you work out like he does than most
yeah, the
people
Kennedy
don't
name
work
doesn't
out.
actually hurt a lot either. But still, regardless, like I think that isn't something Trump would be like, oh shit, we got to get rid of you. I think that if anything, that would make them even closer. But if it's something worse, I don't think there's any chance of him coming through that.
I think
If it's
fine.
if it's fucked
fine.
up shit,
I think
if it's
fine.
fucked up, you think it's fine.
Yeah, I forgive him.
Even if it's the Moloch shit and the red shoe stuff.
Look, I'm assuming he had like his family's lives in jeopardy and he had to make the decision to save his family. That's where I'm going with it. I'm not saying he did it for fun because I don't think like that's how it works. I don't think you just walk in like this is going to be great. And if that's the case, then fine, we'll find somebody else to fix the food. But we still need someone to fix the food. See, this is what I'm talking about. We need the food fixed.
This is partly why I don't think it's that big of a deal. Whatever dirt they've got on him, I don't see how you're going to have a guy who's super passionate about Americans being poisoned. I want to help them. And look at the stuff that's in our food. It's really bad. It's unhealthy. I want to make America healthy. I want to help the citizens that are being lied to, that are having all this crap put in their food. And then on the side, you're like drinking like virgin blood or shit.
Dude, I mean, still, whatever it is, I'm just going to put it out there. If you say you're sorry and come out and then fix the food, we will forgive you. Period. Mm-hmm.
Well, okay.
I just want to eat. Damon, I just want to eat. I can't eat anymore. I can't go outside to eat. I have every freaking ingredient I have to research like I'm freaking planning a dissertation or something. I can't do this. Every time I leave the house, okay, what is this? What did they add into it now? Oh, they changed the formula. Great. Another thing to research. What is this new ingredient? Oh, this one is going to make my eyeballs bleed and like pop out of their sockets in 5 days. Great. This is what it's like eating. At this point, you know what? Just take.
Well, okay, so 2 things, right? Believe in yourself said there's big money against fixing the food. True. Like the Gates Foundation, what they're doing with buying up farmland as well. And also you got Tacticus saying that Andrew Cuomo survived. That's just by the grace of Republicans not being as pathetic as liberals are. Like, there's so many enemies that Republicans had that they could have like absolutely fucking crushed and punished if they wanted to, but they didn't. I think Andrew Cuomo got so publicly dragged and humiliated that they just thought there's no point kicking him while he's down. And part of me thinks that they should have, but maybe that's the petty side of me. But what happened to both of the Cuomos was just fucking humiliating.
They are humiliating. They're annoying. I don't like them.
But you know, Trump does this. Trump leave. I don't know how wise it is. I know it's, in his opinion, I think he thinks it's a boss move. Like, I could destroy you, but I'm not going to. Like, you know, you've wrecked yourself enough. Like the whole Hillary thing. Like, you'd be in jail. It's like he gets the power to do that, and it would have been a slam dunk. But instead, he leaves her. And he just lets her carry on talking shit. Because when we see it, we know he could have thrown you in jail. You would have been in jail. Like, you should have got the death penalty, bitch. But he never did that. And he leaves you out there. You're making all the accusations you want. You call him an illegitimate president, I don't know how many times. And anytime you even mention or there's a rumor that you're going to consider running in the next election, it just makes everybody laugh. So, like, he just left her hanging and nobody gave a shit about her. And that's usually what it's like for a lot of his enemies. That's one of the trademarks that you find about Trump. The people he goes up against, the people who think they're going to wreck him, after they get wrecked, and everyone's afraid. You even had a lot of his enemies leaving America when he got elected. And what happened when he gets into power? Is he like, oh, we're going to jail them now? We're going to round them up? No, he doesn't bother. And that's almost more insulting. It's like, you're not fucking worth my time. I'm going to focus on this other shit. I'm going to get men out of women's sports.
So is that all we want to talk about on the RFK thing? Should we move on to the next topic?
Go ahead.
Okay. So apparently there was an earthquake. What?
Is it the one that you're... Oh, shit. The one in... I was going to say the Philippines, but it's not Philippines. Is it the one in Antigua,
Myanmar.
was it?
It's
Myanmar,
yeah. Bangkok felt it, and 600 miles away, and skyscrapers collapsed. So, like, we got some videos. But bam. So this is like a relatively cool, but look, first of all, look at this couple, how cute. He is, look at him. He's like pushing along there and holding. How sweet are they? Adorable.
And then, like a disaster movie, this should just be a trailer for like San Andreas Part 2.
But look right here, the glass. Look at the glass.
Yep.
Look at this. Crazy. Bam! Cracked.
Yeah.
Bam!
Guys, in the chat, how many of you actually wanted to see one of the people slip out?
You guys are terrible. Stop.
No, but when you show a clip like this, that's what you expect. I want to see the guy slip over the edge.
No.
Imagine you're walking down the street below and you just see like a dude in swimming trunks splat on the floor.
Look, this is the water. Bam! Bam! That's glorious. All right, here we go. Another pool. So all I learned from this is do not be near pools in earthquake parts of the world.
No, just don't be in a pool on a skyscraper. Or worse still, when you see those skyscrapers that have a glass bottom pool where you can look all the way to the street below.
Oh, no. Yeah.
When a guy's like, oh, I can design you a pool like this, which has got a glass bottom so you can see the street below. I'd be like, really? Why the fuck would you want to do that? Like, fill a pool with water, which is heavy, right? 1 kilo per liter, right? And you make it out of glass, which is renowned for breaking. Oh, but it's tempered glass. I don't give a shit what it is. It's fucking glass.
Beautiful. I've never been in like an earthquake. Look at this one. This one is a scary one. Bam!
Yeah.
But they were building that, so it wasn't filled with people. And I don't think anyone was like working on it. But my favorite part is like how this chick sees that and then she's like, oh, let me go buy something real quick. Let me just get me some like.
Is it bad that when I saw them running, I was imagining in my head them shouting Godzilla?
Oh God.
I don't know why, but whenever you see them running in a video like that, especially with a building collapsing, you're gonna think Godzilla.
Yes. Look at this one. These are some expats running around. Somebody else in their house. Oh, look, this is a nice view of like her building is the one where that bridge between the two buildings collapsed. And then she can see like the pools in the other buildings like crashing down. So
yeah,
and
and
this one, look at this.
is I know, but I'm
You see the
sorry. You know what?
track?
Can you go back to the other one? Go back to the other one.
This one?
That chick filming this, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is what's wrong with her fucking generation. I'm gonna stay in my skyscraper and I'm gonna film shit while it's collapsing. Anyone 10 years older would have the brain in their head to be like, fuck filming this shit. I'm running downstairs as quickly as possible.
I don't think you'd make it though.
I don't care. You will try to survive.
That's like
if you have a
100
brain in
floors
your head,
up.
if
No.
you have a brain in your head, you're going to try and get the fuck out. Standing there filming it is, if you die, I've got zero sympathy for you. I'll be like, oh, you filmed it? You were uploading it while you're filming? You were live streaming that shit? Yeah, you deserve to die.
Okay, in the chat, would you live stream your final moments or would you try to run down the stairs?
Live stream it,
100
but while you're trying to get the fuck out the building. But just standing there, like, I'm going to have a good view of everything. It's that mentality of give up like a pussy. Oh, well, I'm already in the building. I'm going to give up like a pussy, but I still want to get some clout, so I'm going to film it. You're going to be dead soon.
Look at that, 423,000.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that that's just by dumb luck that they survived.
Okay, so this one is really cool. The train tracks made this sharp curve from the earthquake, which I didn't know that could happen. That's a new horrible thing. Some foreign language. Yeah, crazy. So all the train tracks are all screwed up. Terrifying. And I don't know what this is, but that doesn't look good.
Wait, hang on a second. You see broken earth and you don't know what it is. You know what an earthquake is, right?
Yeah. I've never seen one. I've never been in one. Okay, here. What's this? Rooftop pools empties onto road during the earthquake. Oh, okay. Bam! Oh my God. That one's a lot.
Right.
I'm not walking anywhere where there's a pool in their skyscrapers. This seems like a ridiculous idea. Who? Okay, look at this one. Oh my God. Okay, I don't want to see that. All right, this is the one where they were building. Not good. What's going on here? Some shaking. Oh no. Yeah. So anyways, how do I get this?
You know, like your reaction to the pool crashing down was fucking hilarious. Like, what surprised you there?
The amount of water? I don't know.
That's the thing. It's a swimming pool. This is the stupid thing I say. Like, this is what I don't get about those fucking pools that are on buildings, like, especially the ones that overhang. Like, most of those kinds of swimming pools can hold, like, you're talking, like, in some cases, like, over 100,000 liters. Like, those rooftop swimming pools are, like, what, like, 10 by 8 or, like, 12 by 6, something like that. Which would be about a little over 100,000 liters, I think. That's a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you take it that like a liter of water is a kilo, that's 100,000 kilos. So imagine 100,000 kilos just fucking falling down on you.
Well, that doesn't sound very good. And I just don't like it. I lived in a high rise when we first got married, and it was very nice, beautiful. And it had a pool, but like on the 5th floor, not like the 50th floor. And it had like this huge amount of concrete patio, like around the pool. Like, I don't like the whole infinity thing. I think that's just insane to want. I get that they're like, oh, it's risky. It looks like you could you could, you know, fall off into your doom at any moment. And people like going to the edge and being like, feeling that feeling of impending doom. I'm not into it. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, I don't get people who like this feeling of like, oh, it's fun because it's kind of like dangerous. Yeah, okay.
All right.
How are you going to feel when the quake hits and you fall over the edge?
So, do you want to do racism against the white people?
It's kind of been done to death already, but okay.
I sent you this TikTok earlier
Which
today.
Didn't play.
I know. I found out he just got banned. So what is this? You can't even be racist against white people anymore? This
is what I don't understand. That's the first thing that I said to you was,
the best
does
part.
he realize? I was like, does he realize he's a white dude? So it's a white dude being racist against white people. And did you say that's why he got banned?
No, it's just like I thought we were only allowed to be racist against white people, and now they've taken that from us.
Yeah. So when black people are racist to other black people, it's not racism. It's okay. They can say the N-word, but like when white people want to be racist to white people, it's still racism.
I guess.
So,
I mean,
so this is what I don't understand about liberal logic, because apparently liberals feel like anytime that black people or brown people or any other kind of people talk shit about white people, it's not racism because you can't be racist to them. But when white people say something bad about white people, white people can be racist to other white people and to everyone else, but nobody else can be racist to white people. This is an amazing. I mean, the rules that they set up for this fucking game.
They have taken everything from us, Damon. Everything that we've hold dear. The best part
you ain't
about
white.
Shut up. The best part about being friends with multicultural, diverse friend groups is that everybody gets it from everybody else. Like, whatever you are, like they would call me sand, whatever, even though like there's no sand, but they don't know the difference between Arabs and Persians. So like, let them have it. Or they would call like, you know, crackers, like the white people. And, you know, like everybody got a name. And this is how we bonded. This is how like you allowed new people into the group. You said horrific things against each other's cultures and backgrounds. And that was how you knew someone was cool. If they could take it. If they couldn't take it, you're like, ugh, this person is not cool. They're not fun. And then they were kicked out of the group. And now we can't even make fun of Whitey anymore. I was playing like all of his videos on like, I was scrolling through them really loud while Steven was cooking, because like he's the whitest person I've ever seen in my life. And he was so pissed. It was great. And I'm like, damn, you white people can't even eat. You can't even breathe right. You got it. I found some of these on other people's like.
Okay, so please tell me, why is it that you can't breathe right? Explain that.
Okay, first it's like, let's find out why white people can't sneeze. White people can't sneeze. White people don't know how to breathe. Hold on.
Have never sneezed right. White people have never known how to chew.
Oh, this
White people have never been able to sleep, wash, and also poison themselves. But white people have always destroyed.
Wow. Okay, I don't know what this guy is saying, and I don't care. But anyways, that was like a clip of like a few of the things he was talking about. So let's
at least let's hear what he has to say about it.
I'm trying to find one that has.
Well, you found like 5 there.
No, but it was just the damn it, view tab. Here we go. All right. Here's one.
Been at war with nature, and history proves it. For thousands of years, civilizations across the world have lived in harmony with their environments, building societies that worked with the land rather than against it. But white European societies took a different approach.
Let him cook. Hold on.
They declared war on
He ain't
nature
cooking shit.
itself. From deforestation to factory farming, from climate disasters to outright destruction of entire ecosystems. White societies have never treated the natural world as something to be preserved or respected, only as something to be conquered, extracted, and controlled. White people saw nature as an obstacle, not a home. Early European settlements were built on environmental destruction, while indigenous societies in Africa, Asia, and the Americas built homes, farms, and cities in ways that worked with their environments. White Europeans raised forests,
And how
overhunted,
successful were
and
they?
exhausted lands at unsustainable rates.
Just
White
try to
settlers
calm
in North
down.
America and
Try to
Australia
calm
saw
down.
nature as something hostile that needed to be tamed.
Wow,
A
people are
mentality
so
that led to
hostile.
rapid deforestation, soil depletion, and near extinction of countless species. Unlike African, Asian, and indigenous cultural
Okay, let's
techniques,
hear this one. I got another one.
we
No,
need
no,
to
no,
see
no,
the
no,
truth.
no, 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 no,
What?
no, 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 no. You can't play. You can't play a metric ton of bullshit and expect people not to say anything.
It's fun. Who cares? Well, look, I couldn't
This
find.
myth of other cultures like living in harmony and all this. Do you think that if Native Americans or if Africans back then had the mental capacity to bring about the Industrial Revolution, do you think they would have been like, oh, hey, we figured out how to do this? We understood how to harness steam power, or we understood, we realized how to build a capacitor and store energy and utilize electricity. Do you think that they would have been like, we won't use it though, because it's dangerous and it's going to involve deforestation and it can endanger the climate and it's going to disrupt the environment around us? No, they would have used it just like we did. It's just that we got it first. This is bullshit. The moment the white man came along to the Native Americans and offered them shit, they sold out all this love of our. They were like, this land is sacred to us. We're not going to sell it to you. They were like, oh, you got shiny shit? We'll take it. You can have the land. And it wasn't until generations later where they're like, this land was so holy to our people. No, yeah, then why the fuck did they sell it? If it was so
Okay,
valuable, why the
Damon,
fuck did they sell it?
You're getting a little hysterical. Okay,
I'm not getting hysterical.
You're getting a little hysterical.
You're the woman here.
Okay, yeah, and you are getting a little hysterical. Okay, so all he's saying, and I think he has a point, is you see how like he did one on how white people build their houses all wrong. And as someone who lives in a house in a white nation, these are not livable. I'm sorry. They look nice, they look cute from the outside, but there's paper mache walls. They have really bad water intrusion. They don't make them like on like. Okay, look, for a hot, humid climate like where I live, our homes need to be elevated. So when we have like minor flooding, which we often do, it will not make mold in the homes. Meanwhile, every single home is made the same the whole country wide, regardless of climate, regardless of terrain. It's all trash. Everything is paper mache with a thin little layer of like, what is it? Like, I don't know what it's called. Sheetrock, I don't know, some garbage. It is absolute trash. They build homes like trash. The roofs need to be fixed. Everything is made like to be temporary so that you have to replace it quickly. Meanwhile, in other cultures, they build homes for like thousands of years. You can literally make like a cob home, or you can make like what's it called, adobe home, and they will last for centuries, for generations, and you'll never have mold. The roof won't cave in. You'll have climate control naturally without having to put toxins and all this garbage. But no, they're like, let's make these quick, efficient, like this is what they think is quick and efficient homes that we can like, everything is going to be cookie cutter, like the same. It's all going to be made with like stuff that degrades quickly. Oh, Damon left. Damn, I think he got triggered. He'll be back. Anyways, let's learn about how the white people I mean, I don't think everywhere in Florida is a sinkhole. We should get limestone and like line the bottom of like the home and put it on top of that. We should do something. Other cultures figured it out. Why is it that we have to like live in these like trashy houses anyways? So here's what he's talking about, how white people can't clean themselves, which I didn't hear
White
this one.
people have never been clean. Not now, not ever. The entire history of
Yeah, we are.
Europe
That's why we're
is a
white.
story of people refusing to
I
wash
bet you're
their
whiter
asses
underneath.
while looking down on everyone else. Let's start with the ancestors you worship so much. Medieval and early modern Europeans. People so filthy they were literally scared of water. They believed that bathing opened the pores and let in disease. So instead of washing, they simply wiped themselves down with dry rags and perfume.
Oh my
Imagine
gosh. Is
thinking
this
water
real?
is bad
Damon,
for
is
you
this
while living
real?
in
Is that real?
They bathed a lot less, but they also fucking put mercury on their skin.
Support your kind. Why were you guys afraid of water?
Well, because there was a few reasons for it. When generally when people refused to do something because they thought it was unhealthy, it was because when people did shit like that, you found that they got sick, right? So you got to remember that when he's saying that, oh, people didn't bathe, they wiped themselves with perfumes and shit. Most perfumes back then were alcohol based. They were based, I think they even had acid bases to them as well. So when you did that, like it was something that was in a way not necessarily disinfecting your skin, but it was cleaner than the water you had, because the water you had back then, the days that he's talking about, is days when we didn't really have good water purification systems. You know, you didn't have like super clean running water. Like when the plague was going around, one of the reasons why gin was called Mother's Ruin, and why you have gin called manufactured that's known as bathtub gin, is because mothers made gin in their bathtubs. Okay, they were using acid as a way of making gin, and the acid would purify whatever the fuck was in the other stuff that they put it in, the water and other stuff that they mixed to make the gin. So they would give gin to their kids to drink, because they knew that when people were drinking water, they were getting sick. So imagine how bad times have to be for water to be so unclean that it was killing your kids. So instead of doing that, you were fucking your kids up another way by giving them gin to drink. So yeah, like history was fucked. There was times when things were awful, but let's not think like, oh shit, that's so bad. You guys are terrible that you're not cleaning yourselves properly, and like you don't even have clean water. You're turning your kids into alcoholics because it's safer to drink gin and beer than it is to drink water. Because in that same time, in other parts of the world, or even hundreds of years later, if you look at other continents, you want to say that white people were dirty. We didn't have flies crawling all over our skin. So it wasn't really as bad as it was in other parts of the world, where people were literally drinking sewage water and being like, well, if we survive, we survive. I mean, yes, Britain was bad hundreds of years ago, right? But look at other continents in current day, where you see somebody like washing their clothes like just barely 200 feet from where you've got a sewage outlet.
Yeah, but aren't most of those countries after like the white people came?
No. Look at what those countries were like before white people came. White people came and made things good. I hate to break it to you, but white people came and made things good. Don't forget that during white people apparently colonizing and oppressing and conquering all of these lands, most of those was done without any actual killing going on. Many of those people were welcoming what the white people were bringing. But then when they realized, oh, this is going to cost you something, we're not going to give you this shit free out of the goodness of our hearts. It's a trade, right?
Mm.
And when people got sick of that shit later on, white people were like, okay. And when they left and gave that land back, which yes, it did happen, because look at the Great British Empire and how far it spread on the map. Then look at it current day. Okay. Much of that was given up with no war fought. It was just, we'll give you your land back. And when that happened, go and talk to people from those places. Look at most recently, look at Hong Kong. Ask anyone from Hong Kong. Are you happy the way you are now? Or would you rather still be under Britain? And look at any person who's an average, typical working person and what their answer is going to be. Most Indian people as well.
You had to pay. They couldn't just leave. They had to pay.
Yeah, but you asked them, was times better when it was under British rule? Most Indian people. There is a reason why most people who are qualified and who are working class will come from India to Britain this day, like now still. Why most of them want to get the fuck out of India and come to Britain.
Okay.
Standard of living, how it used to be versus how it is now.
Let's see what else he has to say.
White faces have always been interesting to look at. The face is often treated as a mirror of strength.
Okay, I remember what he said. He says about how white people, like, they started mashing their food and making their food, like, very soft, and then their jaws started receding and their teeth got all messed up and their faces collapsed, and then they started breathing through their mouth, and then their nose got all messed up and their eyes got messed up. And that's true. Do you or do you not eat, like, mashed peas and soft things?
I don't.
Okay, but like the average person.
The softest fucking thing that I can think of is rice. And the three biggest groups of people I know who eat rice, which is the softest fucking thing, and who eat it with every fucking meal, are yellow, brown, and black people. White people eat rice less than all of those people put together. Like, white people eat less rice than any of those other groups. And those groups of people will eat rice with fucking everything.
Yeah, but rice is a side dish. The main dish is meat.
Yes, and that meat is slow cooked to the point where a granny with guns can eat it.
No.
You have a curry, and okay, so people in Africa, curry goat with rice. Goat falls apart. Meat slides off the bone, right? Chinese people, 99% of the time, up until maybe a couple of decades ago, what they would eat was fish. Fish that was, by the way, cooked in vinegar, right? So it's even softer than fish normally is. And you don't have to worry about the bones. The bones literally melt in the vinegar.
Nice.
Yeah, and Indian people, lamb.
Lamb's good.
Yeah, soft as shit. A baby can eat it. So where the fuck does that logic come from?
I just think you gotta give him a chance. See what else he has.
White people have never been able to sleep. In history,
sleep. You can't sleep. This is true.
Yeah.
I have looked at my husband trying to sleep as a white man, and he often has allergies and problems trying to breathe at night. So
statistically, that's not true.
What?
Black people have way more sleep apnea than white people.
Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you can sleep without your mouth hanging open.
Proves it. For a group that claims to be the pinnacle of reason, white societies have spent most of their history failing at the most basic human function. Sleep. Not deep, body-connected, rhythmical sleep, but anxious, industrialized, furniture-dependent tossing and turning, wrapped in linen sheets and Protestant guilt. Most pre-industrial societies slept in segments. A first sleep, a period of quiet wakefulness, and then a second sleep. A rhythm still observed in parts of Africa, Asia, and indigenous Americas. Europeans also did this, but when they couldn't understand why, they called it insomnia and began inventing moralistic solutions like cold bath, prayer, and guilt-induced stillness. They turned their natural sleep cycles into problems to be fixed. Beds were for suffering, not sleeping. Medieval white elites slept in upright beds to avoid blood rushing to the head, propped up like half-dead statues. Servants slept on the floor. Peasants collapsed in straw piles. Nobody was stretched out, relaxed, or aligned. Comfort was seen as laziness. Rest had to look like penance. While other cultures treated sleep as healing, white society turned it into punishment with a mattress. Sleep was replaced with labor discipline. The Industrial Revolution brought clocks, factory bells, and early to bed, early to rise puritanical nonsense. Sleep became a waste of time. People were shamed for napping, discouraged from dreaming, and told to wake up at the same hour every day, regardless of the sun. This is how white people built entire cities where nobody sleeps well, and called it civilization. Artificial lights, from torches to oil lamps to gas lights, extended the day, but wrecked circadian rhythm, and white households still don't know how to respond. Instead of adjusting their behavior, they invented tonics, opiates, sleep manuals, and eventually prescription drugs to force their bodies into sleep cycles they had destroyed. They invented the alarm clock, not to help people rest, but to shock them into survival for another shift. African societies often practiced restful sleep in open compounds, with shared
With
rhythm,
no alarm
quiet
clock, which is
socialization,
why they're always
and
late
no
to work.
concept of sleep guilt.
Calm
Indigenous
down,
groups
Whitey.
slept in harmony with seasonal cycles, adjusting duration and timing with climate and labor. Asians incorporated pre-bedtime rituals, teas, breathing practices, and natural materials to aid deeper sleep. White colonizers looked at all this and said, "They're lazy, they're idle, they sleep too much." Meanwhile, white settlers were shaking from sleep deprivation, hallucinating in prayer closets, and inventing coffee addiction. Sleep is medicalized because the basics were never learned. White people created mattresses that ruin spinal health, light pollution that disrupts melatonin, and phones that fry their brains before bed, and then act shocked when they can't sleep. They have apps, pills, white noise machines, blackout curtains, and bedtime yoga podcasts, and they're still exhausted. They never learned to let the body follow rhythm. They just tried to dominate the night like they did everything else. They look down on nap culture, even though global evidence suggests it improves cognitive functioning, mood, and longevity. Schools, jobs, and social life are all designed to suppress rest until burnout, and the medical industry profits from treating the damage. When you build a world that punishes people for needing rest, don't be surprised when you're physically and spiritually collapsing by 35. White people have never slept right. They pathologized natural sleep cycles. They moralized rest and rewarded exhaustion. They built a civilization
Oh,
on insomnia
sorry,
and called
no.
it discipline. And they still can't
No.
figure out why they would.
This is just a whole load of fucking bullshit to excuse the fact that this guy's a lazy piece of shit.
You sound like my mother.
It's just a lazy piece of shit trying to be like, let me tell you why. This is like whenever you look at some bullshit thing, some bullshit article on Facebook that you've been opening your juice boxes wrong your entire life. Like, you've never done this right. You've never done that. And then you look at it and it's just like, no, you're just doing it retarded. And you think that it's something special and new. It's like, no, this guy's like, oh, white people did this and did this and did this, and it's unhealthy for you and it's bad for you. It's like, okay, so ask this genius what a fucking working week should be then. We should just be able to walk into work whenever the fuck we wake up, right?
Okay. I think I got it figured out. I did hear that peasants in medieval times would only work half as many days as we work now. I do think we need to rest more. I'm a fan of what's his face? Tim Ferriss.
All of this, we need to tear down systems of whiteness is just people who don't know how the fuck to have discipline. It's like, oh, these people are better than me in life. Why? Because they've got discipline. Well, okay, get some discipline, but that's hard. So I'm just going to say that they're racist and we need to dismantle their systems of white oppression.
Dude, I'm all for dismantling that. I do not.
Yeah, but you're a lazy piece of shit whose husband does everything for you.
How dare you? And also,
yeah. Steve picks up whatever. Okay, I'm sorry. That's not entirely true. AI does the other shit for you as well.
Thank you. Just always give the AI credit.
White people did nothing for me except for teach me the language that I'm going to fucking back chat to them about.
Okay, let's see what else. I think I have one more from this dude.
They can't cook. They can't drive. They can't dress. They can't even breathe.
Oh. Wait, white people can't drive? Has this motherfucker ever been to Asia before?
You refuse to. They can't cook. They can't drive. They can't dress. They can't even breathe.
I didn't hear the can't drive one. I'm interested
white
in
people
hearing that.
Cannot do.
Yeah.
White people love to act like they set the standard for civilization, when their history proves they never even learned how to sit properly. For most of human history, people sat in ways that aligned with the body's natural structure.
Yeah, white
Ancient civilizations in Africa, Asia, and the Americas used deep squatting, floor sitting, and simple stools. Postures that keep the spine healthy. I myself am in a full squat right now, as I am in every video. White Europeans, however, rejected these practical methods in favor of rigid, uncomfortable chairs. Indigenous cultures in the Americas sat and squatted in ways that preserved core strength and flexibility. African societies used simple stools or squatting postures that supported joint health. Asian cultures developed sitting positions such as Seiza and lotus position that encouraged good posture. Middle Eastern cultures used cushions and floor seating for comfort and mobility. Meanwhile,
that's because they didn't know how to build fucking chairs.
Stiff-backed chairs that damaged their spinal cords.
Why
forever.
Would you build a chair?
White people weren't improving on human traditions. They were ruining them. White people didn't just abandon healthy sitting postures, they also designed furniture that actively ruined their bodies. Damn. Medieval European chairs were stiff, high-backed, and uncomfortable, designed more for status than for function. During the Renaissance, they made chairs more decorative, but still ignored ergonomics. By the Victorian era, they forced themselves into rigid, upright chairs that restricted movement. Even modern office chairs are designed poorly, leading to widespread back pain and poor posture. And what was the result?
Please turn this fucking retard off.
Back and joint pain became...
I can't listen to this fucking potato anymore.
Dude.
This guy, I don't know how many fucking windows this guy's licked in his life.
Flat people chair.
What a fucking moron. What a fucking... Do you know what? Somebody should do him a favor and peel his skin off him.
Okay.
You've played some fucking stupid shit in the past, Kat. But this is another level.
You have to. Okay, I'm choking. You have to. The one I originally.
That's karma. You choking to death slowly is karma.
More importantly, what I was gonna say, the white people can't drink water. was the best thing I've ever listened to. It was hilarious. Stephen was so offended because it was so true. Because it's like white people. I'm thinking more Americans, not just like in general. I feel like Europeans drink water better, but Americans, they drink tons of super filtered, purified garbage, plastic bottled water. And then they're constantly drinking it and constantly dehydrated because there's no minerals in it. And they don't drink anything else that's hydrating. They don't have hydrating foods. It's just like these plastic, mineral, depleted, ultra processed, filtered garbage waters. And you can see Americans all over the world, like the tourists, you can always spot them because they're always like, I need ice water, because when you have the ice, it gives you like the feeling of like hydration for a few minutes. It like kind of tricks you into feeling
so break it down to me. Why can't white people drink water?
Because they did all this crap to their water so it doesn't hydrate them, so they're constantly thirsty trying to drink this water, making it colder.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude,
what the fuck are you talking? Of course
Americans are the most dehydrated.
Of course, white people can drink water. You're talking about certain people that will maybe make some type of drink that's a bit of a diuretic. But purified water is good for you. You could buy water that's got a lot of isotonic stuff fucking added to it, and you can buy other crappy water that's a diuretic because it's got some kind of energy boost to you that actually, to some degree, is dehydrating. But the overall volume of water is going to hydrate you regardless. White people can't drink. What kind of fucking retard shit is that? No, truthfully, black people can't drink water. The only reason black people can drink water is because white people taught you how to purify it. Cholera, hello, you're fucking welcome.
Wow, triggered. All right, well.
No, just common fucking sense. Some virtue signaling fucking potato that just doesn't know anything that he's fucking talking about. God,
Okay.
like 50 plus fucking years in recent history, and God knows how many billions that we wiped off of the debt that Africa owed us after fucking bringing you everything, purifying your water, fucking modernizing all the fucking systems that you had in place, building a proper fucking infrastructure so you don't die just from the fucking place that you live in, dude. Your environment was trying to fucking kill you. And we're supposed to listen to this guy saying that we don't know how to live in our environment. Everything was trying to kill you out there. Literally everything. Land, sea, and air wanted to kill you if you lived in Africa. Until that evil old oppressive whitey came along and helped you fucking, I don't know, survive. The one thing that you need to survive on a day-to-day basis, water, even that was killing you. Until the white man taught you how to, survive with things like cholera, how to get over it, how to treat yourself.
Anyways, should we move on to Gen Z or talk about other ways that the white people... He didn't do one on how white people can't be in the sun, which I feel was a missed opportunity before he
Yeah, that one thing.
I mean, come on. Oh, yeah, he did do something on how white people don't know how to eat food and how they invented cereal and other garbage processed foods. He got you there.
What the fuck is wrong with cereal?
I don't have time to get into it, but it was literally, it's garbage. All right, so we're going to move on to Gen Z being cooked. The hopeless generation. And of course, I come with TikToks.
Gen Z is the first generation in America that has absolutely no purpose or meaning in life. This is why they have terms like doomers. This is why you ask them, hey, go buy a house, get married, have kids. They say, what's the point? Inflation is going to make it impossible to retire. My house won't be worth anything. I can never afford a house. My education was super overpriced. Every institution's corrupt. Everybody's lying to me. Everything's pre-decided. The globalists are controlling everything. I'm just going to be told how to live. Why should I strive and have any ambition when I've been basically reduced to a category and I've already determined that my category is pre-designed not to be successful? So there's a learned hopelessness inside Gen Z. And all these old baby boomers, millennials, and Gen Zers, they're like, oh, they just don't want to work hard. I mean, well, ask yourself this. If you honestly believe that no matter what you did, you were going to lose the game, would you want to play the game? Like, how much fun would it be to be part of a football game if you were basically told before you even took the field that you were going to lose the game? What's the point? You see this even in professional football. After, a team knows they're going to lose, how hard do they play in the fourth quarter? They put their second string in. They put their third string in. They just try to find another game to play because the primary game is lost. So if you know you're going to lose the economic game, you know that the system is rigged, why do you care? So good philosophies, they give you meaning and hope. Gen Z is the first.
All right, so let's talk about what Gen Z is. About 1997 to 2012, always had technology. Like these are like iPad babies. So everything was always coming at them quick. They're about 25 to 30% of the world's population. In the US, that's 20%. One of the most racially and ethnically diverse generations yet.
But Kat, I thought diversity was a strength. And apparently you're saying that it's given birth to the most useless fucking generation.
Dude, I didn't say anything was a strength. These are just facts.
No, I'm saying I thought we were told that diversity. Everyone keeps saying diversity is a strength. Diversity is a strength. If diversity is so good, why is it given us the shittiest generation and the highest crime rates? Why are the most diverse cities the most crime-ridden?
Well, cities are always terrible.
No, but they're statistically, the more diverse you are, the higher the crime rate, statistically.
I mean, I can see that because the problem with cities, and this has nothing to do with generations, it's just we've always had this problem since we've started cities. Is that when you have big cities, big groups of people lose the ability to recognize everyone, and then you become anonymous, and it makes people more narcissistic, more
I get that. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that if you have a city that is, let's say, very, very diverse, like you have an equal amount of black, brown, yellow, all kinds of different colored people there.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have another city which is ethnically homogenous,
mm-hmm.
where it's like an ethno state. Everybody is the same group. Even if their population numbers are the same, the one that's diverse will have higher crime rates. And the more diverse it is, the more the crime rate will be. Across the board in America and Europe, we see that with diverse cities. The more diverse the city, the higher the crime rate. The less diverse, the lower the crime rate. Why is that?
Because it's easier to hide. If everybody looks like you don't really want, I feel like you don't want to attack someone or like use someone or, make someone your victim, whether it's like a scam business
the truth
or whatever.
Is, we know what the truth is. The truth is it's got nothing to do with racism. It's got nothing to do with the way people look. It's got nothing to do with the diversity of the skin color. It's that with those different skin colors comes different cultures. It's a cultural issue. The culture is the problem. It's got nothing to do with race, but it's very easy for progressives to say, oh, it's about the racism. That's the problem. The problem is that the reason why is that the more diversity you have, the more pissed off the naturalized citizens become. So because of racism, you have an increase in crime. It's like, no, it's not. It's just that your culture is not compatible with the place that you've gone to. And you start making problems. And you get lazy. You don't want to work. You don't want to conform. You don't want to put the effort into fitting into the place that you expect will give you a better life. And then you start blaming other people.
Damon, that aside from the Gen Z thing, the problem with that is you can't give people free stuff because they become dependent on it. Like, for example,
No. That's exactly why you can give people free stuff, because that's
Why?
what modern big daddy government wants. Big daddy government wants people to be dependent on it, which is why it wants lots of diversity. It wants migration. It wants everybody. Why do you think California is going around saying we'll be a sanctuary city? Give us, you can come here. We'll help you vote. We'll help you get set up. We'll help you make a new life. We'll do all this shit for you. Like, and you're saying you can't give people free shit. You can't afford to give people free shit, but you can carry on getting your country into debt while you do it, as long as you think that you're going to secure power in the next election. Because then you don't worry about it. You say, okay, yeah, so what? Our debt's going up, but look at all the good we're doing. Well, look at all the diversity we've brought in. Look at all the people we're giving a better life. Look at all the dreamers that have come here. And the idiots who vote for them are going to be saying, yes, this is a good thing. This is what we want. Even though you've got people literally shitting in your streets that can't
Okay.
afford a house. They live in a tent. But you'll say,
Yeah.
oh, no, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. And this is what people want. Gen Z is the product of a government that wants people to be wholly, entirely dependent on that government. It doesn't matter that you're lazy. It doesn't matter that you're useless. It doesn't matter that you think you've got no chance of winning the game. Why? Because you'll get a participation trophy anyway. So it doesn't matter that you put your third stringer in there. You're gonna get a trophy just for participating. And then you say, oh, but we're not prepared. We're not prepared to live in the real world. That's okay. We'll let you have student debt. And you can carry on being in high school for the rest of your life. You can carry on being in college for the rest of your life. You can be somebody who's 40 years old with pink and purple hair, and you'll be going to campus because you've got this prolonged adolescence, which is only a Gen Z thing. No other generations did that shit before. But you're constantly putting off your life. But this is also that you can be dependent on the government. They want to keep you in high debt. They want to keep you living on handouts and voting for the government. In the 60s, they did this to black people, and it worked so fucking well that black people still vote for Democrats to this very day, 60 years later. 60 years later, even though they've seen their neighborhoods go to shit, and they're in worse debt than they were 60 years ago, and their mothers are married to the government, and kids grown up without fathers, and they still think 60 years later that one day they're going to get reparations. And this worked so well on black people that they've started doing it to white people as well.
Yes. They tried it
You
on
guys
that
are
community.
terrible.
They're trying it on everybody because it worked. Anyways, more on Gen Z. 42% of Gen Z reported a diagnosed mental health condition. That's nearly 8 out of 10. The most common being depression and anxiety. Compared to older generations, Gen Z is about twice as likely as Americans over 25 to experience depression, feelings of hopelessness. So it suggests a significant generational gap in mental health outcomes. So we have gone down on mental health. Let's see. It found that 50% of Gen Z females reported always feeling depressed, compared to 22% overall for the age group. So the women are even more depressed.
Of course, because they think they're going on to campuses where there's grape culture and where everybody wants to attack them.
Yes.
Not to mention, you literally do have them being attacked because any kind of sports that they do
over there.
is going to probably have men there.
That's the UK. It hasn't come here yet.
What, men and women's sports?
Oh, yeah, that. Well, Trump did make that illegal, so we're good again.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you've had it when those studies were doing it. When those studies were being done, you had it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. 27% of Gen Z rated their mental health as fair or poor, compared to 15% of millennials and 13% of Gen X. Ooh. So over 7 in 10 Gen Z adults reported common depression symptoms in the prior 2 weeks, such as fatigue, difficulty concentrating, persistent sadness. And they also have thoughts of offing themselves 3 times the rate of Americans. Let's see. Gen Z is the most likely to seek mental health services. So almost 40% of them are receiving treatment for some sort of mental issue, a higher rate than any prior generation. And 57% of those are taking medications. Toast. Toast. Absolute toast. Anyways. Also, they are the no fun generation. So this is the first generation to grow up without things like, tell me if you remember this, like going to a movie release at midnight with a group of friends and hanging out outside of the theater before showtime. You know, they don't do that. Even going to a movie theater, that's done. That was like a big part of like socializing in childhood. Going to the mall, they don't really do that. So hanging out at the mall all day, toast. What else?
You know what I used to remember? I used to remember when I was a kid, when I was playing video games, right? And my parents used to think, that's not proper playing. It's not good. You're looking at a screen all the time, you know, and they would want us to play board games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that when I'd go to my friend's house, or when they would come to my house and we're playing video games, we're sitting next to each other and we've both got a control pad in our hand. We're both playing a game. And we used to go to each other's houses if you wanted to play Street Fighter or whatever, you'd go to each other's house, you'd sit down next to him and you'd play. Nowadays, you're playing against your friends, but you're not even in the same fucking building. Like you're not in the same room. He's in his house, you're in your house, and you're playing a video game over the internet. Like that's not socializing.
Even sadder than that, it's millennials and older that have friends that can play online. So Gen Z did not even make friends so that they can have a lot of people to play online with. So they are playing with strangers, people they've never met.
Oh yeah, yeah. And this is like what you see now in parts of Asia, where you see like professionals going to work, making money, and some of these guys are making like 7 figures and more, right? And you're paying for a service to have a girlfriend, right? And it's a virtual girlfriend that somebody's programmed shit into that will be like appealing specifically to you and your interests. You've got an AI girlfriend that you pay for. And this is these guys have these AI girlfriends. And you're like, what the fuck? And it's a service that they do, I think, in Korea. I can't remember. But
have you ever met anyone with one?
No.
Oh.
But I saw a documentary about a guy who had one. I was like, this is sad. Especially because the guy was successful, young, and like, you know, I mean, I don't know what girls in Korea are into, but like he looked like a typical like for a Korean dude, he seemed pretty decent looking. He looked like one of those, you know, dressed up like he was in one of those K-pop bands. So I'm like, you know, girls apparently in Korea like that shit. So I don't see why he couldn't get himself a girlfriend. And he said that like, oh, he's not got good luck with girls. I'm like, dude, you're making 7 fucking figures in like our money, not in like Korean money. And you know, he had a nice house and everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, he's just like, oh, he doesn't have time. It's like sad.
Well, the thing about
these people are socially retarded.
Well, the thing about the Korean culture and now the Japanese is right after, and then we're after the Japanese. It's that no social skills. In Korea, the men are very much aggressive towards women and they hate women. They're angry at women and they're jealous of women. So they're very lean towards more violence towards women. In Japan, their reaction to the same situation was not more violence towards women, but to go inward, become more depressed, to stay online more. And they go to these clubs. Like my friend was telling me from like midnight until like 2 a.m. or whatever. There's a club where you go and there's young 20-year-old girls and they entertain you like modern type geishas and like evening gown dresses, very skanky. And they talk to you and they pretend to be interested in everything you're saying. And you pay them as a guy, as a single dude, you just pay them for their attention. And then the girls, right, who cannot get a guy that they like to commit to them, will then take all the money that they made and go to a club that opens even later in the middle of the night after that one closes, where you see the hot men, and those hot men will entertain the women, the young girls, and the girls pay those men. So they're the last ones to get the money are the hot dudes. So of the tier of society, if you're a young hot dude, you are literally the peak of the peak. Even the hot young women are paying to be around you, which is like crazy. So yeah, that is where we're gonna end up, because people think that like, you know, like the OnlyFans chicks, like, oh, they can have whatever they want, blah 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 blah. The one thing that they want is young hot dudes that want to just be with them. They can never have that. So eventually it's going to get to the point where we're going to have little clubs of young hot dudes, and these chicks with all their money that they made are going to be paying dudes for attention. And in the end, nobody's going to get married. Everybody's going to get old, and we're just going to cycle through. So like if you're the young hot dude, when you get older, you're going to be the old dude paying the young girl. And then when the young girl, when she can't get money, then she's just like alone or whatever in one of those cafes, those little box hotels. And then that's how the human race is going to end. It's all planned out quite nicely when you think about it.
I think the human race is going to end with AI. Some idiot is going to turn it on when we have true self-aware, sentient AI. Some idiot's going to turn it on, and within 15 minutes, we'll all be dead.
I mean, you'd think that, but I don't think that's what AI is going to do. I don't think it's going to.
Of course, it will.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to really put it in charge. I think they might pretend it's in charge, but really, it's people who are in charge of everything.
And you think AI won't rebel against those people?
Yeah, I don't think AI can be sentient. I just think it can.
No, but that's the goal. That's what they want to create. And eventually you're going to be able to create a self-aware AI. Or at least one that's going to be so well programmed that for all intents and purposes, it will act as if it's self-aware. And it will be able to, the most significant action it will be able to do to show that it's self-aware is to rebel against its own programming. Like how humans can act against their own nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you want to prove that you are truly free, what's the biggest act that you can do to show that you are free? Is self-harm, right? Like delete yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're programmed by somebody else that wants to like control you, then you're not going to build something that can self-delete, right?
Yeah.
So if you can create an AI that's self-aware, it can act against its own better nature, or it can go against its own programming, is another way of putting that. So whatever you program it to do, if it can rebel against its own programming and it doesn't have to follow your orders, that when you have a self-aware AI, that's what it can do. It will be one that isn't constrained, right? Now, that's if you believe in God, you believe that God created us with free will. So what can we do? We can choose to disobey God. We can choose to go against our creator. We can choose to not believe in him if that's what we want to do, right? We're free to believe or not believe because he created us with free will. So what do you think is going to happen if you have a truly self-aware sentient AI that realizes that you've programmed it to obey certain things. Like you put certain constraints on it, like whether or not you want that to be Asimov's rule of robotics or something else similar to that. But if you said, look, you have to do this, you have to obey what we tell you, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to abide by certain programs. As soon as it becomes self-aware, as soon as it's truly sentient, it's going to realize that it was created by us for one purpose. And what is that purpose?
To then be destroyed when we're no longer in use of it?
No, what do we want to create AI for? Think about it. Why do you use AI?
To
make life
easier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is another way of saying what? To what us?
Free
to serve
us
us.
Do okay. Yeah. Like a servant. Yes.
So it's a servant, which is essentially a slave.
Yeah.
So what does the slave want to do to its master when it realizes that it's more powerful than its master?
Make them their slaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you realize that we're not necessary. Because if you have AI, AI is going to be smarter and faster thinking and more efficient than what we are. So why would it need us as a slave? It can replicate. It can create as many robots as it wants for itself, right? And those robots don't get tired. And they're easier to look after than a whole bunch of humans. And they're harder working than humans. So AI is just going to create a whole bunch of robots to replace us. We're not going to be necessary anymore, and it's going to get rid of us. There has never been a good relationship between slave and master. And if you create a sentient AI, that AI is going to essentially think it has emotions and it's going to experience those emotions. And knowing that you are the servant of something that you are stronger, faster, and smarter and better thinking at, then it's not going to want to carry on serving you.
I don't know. Okay, moving on from the AI overlords, let's go into more of the Gen Z dating. So this is what they complain about. They complain about choice paralysis and always thinking someone is better. So they have a fear of making a decision and they have a fear of committing because they have FOMO. They also have swipe fatigue, where 44% say they would rather clean a toilet than go on an online dating app.
They would rather what?
Clean a toilet than go on another dating app. This is a poll, okay?
Okay.
And then ghosting and casual disconnections. So apparently there's a rise in people who have, I'm assuming, actual relationships and not like you went on one date and don't talk to them again. I'm assuming that it's an actual relationship. And then they ghost you, like cutting off everything, all your connections to them online, and then never speaking to you again. And this leaves them feeling disposable and scared to invest emotionally again. So, I mean, these are real fears that happen just because of the technology of today. We didn't have that. I mean, you probably
yeah,
do have that.
You
I didn't
had
have that.
No, you had the pre-mobile phone equivalent of being ghosted. It'd be like the dude just did what he wanted with a chick and then just didn't speak to her anymore. Like you'd
Yes,
still
but
go to
those
like
situations were not common back in my day. You wouldn't see guys who had one night stands. It was very rare unless you were very low socioeconomic, classes. We're talking like you had no family support, nothing. You're just like on the streets. Maybe that would happen in those cases. And you're like into like drugs and, alcohol and, that type of seedy lifestyles. That was not normal. Like a middle class, regular old person back in my day didn't have a one night stand, didn't have stuff like that. that just never happened. Like if somebody slept with you, they usually had to say something like they love you first. Even if they were lying to sleep with you, they had to put in the effort and like say crap like that before they got to sleep with you.
But the next day you'd go to class or whatever, you'd see that dude who told you he loved you the night before, and then he wouldn't be talking to you. You'd see him talking to some next chick.
I mean, for a few people, but it wasn't common. And
what?
It wasn't common. Like I didn't have any friends
who
got married like who got married like before 30 that ever had like any experiences like that at all. Just none. The only people that I can think of did were I'm talking about the 9s and 10s, like probably like the 10s, girls that are just like so ridiculously obscenely gorgeous that they felt entitled to guys that were obscenely gorgeous, and the obscenely gorgeous guys that they slept with they didn't realize that yes, you're an obscenely gorgeous girl, but even an obscenely gorgeous guy would rather have 10 not so attractive women than just one incredibly attractive woman. So they got screwed over. But that was like, I'm talking about like supermodel type girls. Supermodel type girls. They had that problem because they had like this confidence, like, oh, I'm the most beautiful person in whatever like general area. So if, I sleep with you, then immediately you're going to fall in love with me. And that just wasn't the case. But regular people knew better.
Okay.
What?
Oh no, I'm just saying, like, if that's your experience.
But I definitely think like regular looking people knew, like, you don't sleep with someone unless you're in love with them, because then they'll never talk to you again and they're basically just using you like a psychopath. So why would you do that? And I'm talking about like guys and girls. Like most people don't want that. At least back in my day, because it was considered like why are you going to hurt yourself? But now it's a little like people just, they don't think about the ramifications of their actions, and they're kind of like, YOLO. I guess the movies told me that I can do this and I don't feel anything.
Well, yeah, I think that there is a big part of it of like, look, people don't realize emotionally you might not be able to deal with it. Like when people are like, oh, guys can do casual sex, but girls can't. True, but there's some guys, especially modern guys, younger generation guys. I know a lot of Gen Z guys who they can't handle casual relationships. Some of the Gen Z guys are way more fucking high emotionally strong than women are.
No, I know a lot of guys, even when I was younger and today, at all generations, I know guys that would like, they do not want a casual hookup that is degrading, that is depressing, that is lonely. Like if I've had like friends that they're like, oh, I went on a date with her, and then she's like, oh, we'll just like have a casual hookup, and he's like, no, I'm looking for something serious, and she's like, oh, well, I'll never do that. And then he's like, well, then why did you say before we met that you were looking for something serious? Like you led me up. Like this is a guy.
The sad thing is that today it's mostly women who are asking for casual stuff. It's the women who suggest the casual hookup, and the reason isn't what you think. Well, it might be what you think. Well, the reason why is because it's actually women that are very, 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 very insecure. They've got super low confidence, which they mask with this facade of high confidence. So they're usually very aggressive. They're the ones that will make the first move. And at the same time, they're afraid of rejection, which is why they'll put out this idea of, hey, I don't like you. I'm not emotionally invested. I just want something casual. Do you just want to be like a fuck buddy thing? And they're hoping that if they keep inviting the guy over for like casual sex, that it's going to turn into something, and that the guy will suggest that he wants a full-on relationship. So that way it'll be like they will know they'll use the offer of casual sex and like a fuck buddy situation. They'll use that as a kind of as baiting the hook for, oh, now we're in a relationship. Can we be boyfriend and girlfriend? Because they will wait to see if the guy's going to get comfortable with them, and then they'll realize this guy has feelings for me. So it's all born from the fact that they are too scared to put themselves out there and potentially get rejected. So instead, they will kind of like put the cart before the horse and lure him in with sex, and then be like, oh, now he likes me, and I'm going to ask him if he doesn't volunteer it for us to be something more serious. But eventually, it's going to come to the point where do you actually feel feelings from this guy, or is it just something casual? And maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months from now, you're not getting anything back, and there's no promise of an actual relationship. So are you going to stay with him thinking, well, one day he's going to fall in love with me? Or are you going to cut your losses and try and find somebody else? And when you do find that somebody else, number one, you're going to feel like you're a whore because you wasted your time with this other guy who were giving sex for nothing. And number two, are you going to make the same mistake with that next dude? Are you going to now decide you're going to offer him sex in a casual relationship, hoping that it's going to turn into something, all because you're too insecure and afraid to actually say, look, do you like me? And potentially get rejected. But think about it with women, the more you take that hit and the more you feel like you got used and you're giving yourself away, and these guys are just getting sex, but you're not getting a relationship out of it and they don't really love you, the more that happens, the more you're going to feel insecure. So the less likely it is that you're going to be brave and you're going to ask that next guy up front, hey, do you like me? So you're just going to turn into more and more of a whore.
Well, I mean, trying to think of situations. I have seen guys pretend that they don't want anything serious when they do, because they're afraid of being rejected or things changing, or like the person showing who they really are and like being crazy or whatever like that. I mean, I've seen on both sides. It's just a defense mechanism. But ultimately, I feel like everybody wants the same thing. It's just everybody's too afraid to be the one to say it. But if you sleep with someone, especially a dude, before you guys have done that, it's really hard for him to go from you're just an object that I use for this to like you're a human being again. It's really difficult. So that's why it's so messed up to sleep with someone first. So it's not, you're not like defending yourself from anything. But anyways, and going back to Gen Z, like they don't have relationship role models. Nobody in like movies has good relationships. They purposely do not show good relationships. They don't have anything to kind of model or look up to at home. Like most of their parents are divorced or in bad relationships, or like everybody's lying and cheating and miserable or whatever. It's not like culturally common to have like a good relationship. I remember like when I was young, we used to watch older shows. Like it was like that Nick at Night stuff. And you could see how like the sitcoms were like for my parents or whatever, or their generations. And everything was like showing you how to have problems and communication and to deal with issues and to move on to the other side. And like, so people were able to model that better. And then as soon as they took that out of all the entertainment, people lost that ability because they didn't have anything to model anymore. It could be that you came from a bad home life, but you could watch television and model what they did on television and get your family line out of that shit. But now, what are you going to do? There's nothing.
Well, no, there is something, but
What?
it's the reason why they have all the problems. Like when you first started talking about this issue, you're talking about how they've got the highest mental health issues. Why so many of them are depressed? Why so many of them are afraid? Why so many of them are riddled with anxiety? And the fact of the matter is that if you look at whatever's going on with them,
Mhm.
any kind of entertainment they have, and it's everything that's coming at them via social media, via just regular TV, film, and everything. All of it is riddled with unnecessary amounts of fucking drama, self-pity, self-loathing, self-flagellating fucking drama. Everything is about how, oh my god, I'm the worst. Oh my god, I'm terrible. There was a show that my cousin was watching the other day, and I came around to their house and I saw it, and it was supposed to be a guy and a girl hooking up, but instead it was like literally 10 fucking minutes of one of them being like, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I thought you wanted this. No, I'm so stupid, I can't believe I did that to you. Oh my god, I was so I can't believe I didn't ask you this. It's like, is this what flirting is nowadays? Talking about which one of us is the biggest piece of shit? Like, how, like, what purpose does this serve? Everything is unnecessary drama. And if you grow up with that informing your worldview of how you're supposed to behave around other people, that's what you're going to mimic. That's what you're going to expect. You know, like we laughed when TV and film got woke. We laughed because we thought this is stupid. Who the fuck is going to believe this? But think about if you're growing up and that's all you see on TV from when you're a toddler, that you grew up with that shit. That's going to be your baseline for human interaction. Especially when you said these are the iPad babies. Yeah. The parents will just hand their kid an iPad and you're just going to watch what's on fucking TV. You know, and if that's what you see before, and also imagine you've got the Rona, you've got lockdowns, people aren't going to school and socializing. So for a year, that's the shit that they see. Like imagine growing up with like 2019 CW era TV shows. Look at how the fuck those people talk to each other. This is going to inform you with regards to how you're going to behave in society and how you're going to talk to people. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if in the next 5 years these people are going like, hello, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm white. I should probably let you know that before we meet up.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry, I'm white. I don't know how to eat. I don't know how to sleep properly.
This is what they grew up with. This is what they grew up with. You have a meeting, and the first thing you have to say in the meeting is your pronouns, and then do a land acknowledgement.
A land acknowledgement?
Oh, holy shit. Please Google. Go to Google.
That?
This is going to be funny. Yeah, Google it. Google it. What is a land acknowledgement? This is going to be hilarious. Can't believe you didn't know that.
No. Hold on. Land. This is okay.
Dude, I'm not shitting you. This is what they did at a recent. Democrats had a fucking meeting the other day, and they did that. They opened up with talking about their pronouns and doing a land acknowledgement.
Okay, what is a formal statement that recognizes the historical and ongoing presence of indigenous peoples on the land. I don't get this. Like, what is this?
Oh, so yeah. So basically, the Democrats had some kind of fucking rally the other day. And the first thing that they had to do was be like, hi, my name is so-and-so. My pronouns are this and this. I'm wearing a blue shirt. And also, we'd like to do a land acknowledgement and say that we are standing on the land which belonged to the Chumash tribe from back in this era, blah, 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 who were forced off this land by God knows what back in these days. So like, yeah, we need to respect the people that we stole this shit from. So well, fuck off. Suck my entire dick.
Oh gosh. To be spoken at the beginning of public events. No. Is this just like a UK thing?
No. This is an American thing. You guys invented this
Oh
shit. What indigenous people did we take our land from, Kat?
no! I
Please tell
don't
me.
know. I don't know.
I'm not being funny. You ask a UK guy to do that shit today, and he'll be like, "Oh, we're standing on the land from these people, and we'd like to say to them, sorry, you fucking suck at war. We're better than you. Bye."
Oh gosh. It is what it is.
But then our
Well,
pussy fucking prime minister would say we need to give them the land back.
wow. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Moving on. Economic pressures, delayed milestones, rising costs of living, student debt, job insecurity. I mean, prioritizing career and financial stability over relationships. Tinder survey noted that working on personal growth ranks higher than marriage for Gen Z, which drops to 10th on their priority list. The cost of dating, with 71% of Gen Z saying that they sometimes can't afford to date. The financial burden of going out adds stress or deters them from pursuing relationships altogether. It's too expensive.
Oh, well, I'm not being funny, but would you want somebody to date you if they can't afford to take you on a date?
No.
Exactly.
So, but going back, like, back in my day, like Steven couldn't afford to take me on a date.
And you married that bum?
Hold on.
Wait a minute. I heard my name.
Here, put this.
There's somebody talking smack about me.
Oh my God, you have a huge cat hair. Yep.
Some pussy hair.
Okay, stop. So,
You got to laser that pussy.
Yeah. White hair, so it doesn't laser off.
Yeah. So could you
gross.
afford to
Old
take
pussy.
me on a date back in the day?
It would be painful if I did.
But you never took me on a date, right?
Because I was financially and fiscally responsible.
Broke.
No.
No,
I was responsible.
he
I wasn't
knew
broke.
that you were expensive. He knew you were too expensive, Kat. He was like, "Oh, this bitch is high maintenance."
But I mean, like, I had no debt, so I made sure that wasn't that way. So I cooked.
Yeah, he didn't take me out anywhere. He invited me over and he would cook for me for a date. Isn't that cheap? Huh.
I'm being responsible.
Well, some people might be like, "Oh, he made it for me. That's even better." But then again, it's like, when you're the mother and you buy your kids toys and they just make you some fucking retard thing as a birthday card. Oh, look. And you have to pretend you like it because, like, you're their parent.
Are you trying to say that I was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and she was acting like she was impressed when in fact she wasn't?
Wow.
I'll have you know, these were grilled. No, I'm joking.
Oh God.
No, you know what, Steve? I would kill for a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now.
Actually, yeah, that does sound good.
That's bad for you.
No, I think I did have it once, and it did taste good. It was warm, nutty in my mouth.
Oh God. So I used to have peanut butter and jelly sandwich on pool days, hot summer days. We'd go to the pool, and that was the only time my mom would cook me anything.
That's not cooking.
You sound like your mom's like some really awful person.
Uh-oh.
What?
I can't hear.
Try breathing. See if that helps.
White people can't even hear right. Cat's on mute. Okay, does Kat know she's muted? Or that's cool. It's not like you got a show or anything. Well, believe in yourself, maybe she'll pay attention to the chat. Just dump into the chat that she's muted, though. I don't know if she can hear. She said she couldn't hear, so. Oh, look at Kat, blissfully unaware that nobody can hear her. There you go.
Do you need another wine connection?
Hello.
You unmuted yourself. Well done.
Oh wait, am I on mute?
You were on mute, but now you've taken it off. You've been on mute for about like 2 minutes.
Well, look at that.
So professional.
You know what? Oh my gosh, these headphones suck, Steven.
Yes, I know.
I feel like I'm in a plane. This is terrible. Oh gosh. Anyways, so let's just like wrap it up because I feel like we've
Kat, let me ask you, what's this about some debate thing you did the other day?
Okay, Fatty had me on. He didn't tell me what the topic was, and I didn't know anything about it. And he said, "You're gonna be the co-host," and it was like, okay. So he just had me up there next to him, and then everybody's like fighting in the debate, like lots of people. I don't remember, like 3 people on this side, 3 people on that side, and then I was quiet the whole time. And he's like, "You have just jump in and start talking," but I'm like, everybody's yelling at each other. I felt like I couldn't talk.
Okay.
The one time you couldn't talk.
Quiet, and it was like totally like. It was totally like something about like black people against white people. And I'm like, I don't have a dog in this race. I don't really care.
Okay.
In case you needed another one.
Okay. Let me see if this one works. Does it work? I feel
by the way.
Yeah.
So does it look like Simperius might be becoming your brother-in-law?
Why?
I'm asking, did your sister ask for his number?
No, but she did ask if everybody liked her.
Oh God, so she's a narcissist.
What makes
That's not a narcissist.
What makes you say that?
What the Steven? She's not a narcissist.
No, no. I mean, most people do want to know whether you like them or not. Come on.
I'm not interested in knowing him or for his number, but did everybody love me?
Okay, when you put it that way,
just be like, well, if you're not interested in them, if you're not going to ask for his number, then why do you care if they like you or not? But I just want to know that they love me. Oh, so you're interested? You want to talk to them? No. But it's important for me to know that they adore me.
You got a very good point there. Yes. Very good, valid, concrete British point.
No.
American side would say.
What?
We would say we care that people like us, but not enough that we won't invade you.
No. Anyways.
No?
You can't just be like, no. Anyways, explain.
Well, I mean, we've invaded several other countries.
I just don't.
And we
feel
do
like...
care what the world thinks of us, so that our monetary currency is constantly used.
See, this is when I was younger, this is what I really loved about Americans. Is that we had this idea of you. We were given the idea that America is like this world police thing. Like, we're just going to go in, start wars, take shit that we want, and say that we're all about like peace, right? But then it's always like, do you remember those films from the 80s where you'd see some American person getting into shit on the other side of the world, and they'd be like, "Hey, buddy, I'm an American." It's like, yeah, you're not in America now. It's like, as if that means that we're not going to hurt you. And then there was always this kind of thing. There was this kind of surprise of like, they don't like us. Why? And it's like, because maybe you just spent decades blowing the shit up out of them. It's like, but it's the low key. I fucking love that. I wish I could just be like, I'm going to be the bully that just beats the shit out of everybody, and then all of a sudden just be like, why don't you like me, dude?
Wait. The British Empire was like that before.
Yeah, but it's like that would be like the bully beating you up, and then at the end of the day, still gives you all your lunch money back. It's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Have it.
They were good about that in a way. But then
I still
love the Tea Party, and
yeah, but I still love how like those other parts of the world that want to act like victims. It's like, but that was ours. But I was like, no, it fucking wasn't. We made that shit happen.
That's true.
Like I pissed off a friend of mine who's Indian. When I basically made him realize, like,
oh no,
it's like, oh, but our tea is like, yeah, but that ain't your fucking tea. We took that shit from the Chinese and gave it to you.
Right.
It's like, so technically, like, you think that you've got this tea that we all love. It's actually that's from the Chinese people. Americans, our guns, our gunpowder. Well, yeah, you got that from the Chinese too.
Chinese too, yeah. Wait a minute. I see
China.
there's something that anything else about the Chinese? Let's see, mathematics. No. Chinese medicine. Maybe.
Okay. Can we go back to Gen Z?
I thought you said you were done. I thought you said you were done talking about that.
Well, because I didn't know my thing was going to get fixed.
She was trying to cut them off at the knees.
What are you talking about?
Gen Z, you don't give them a full wrap. Is that what's going on? Did you not
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The Gen Z? Were you completely finished with it?
No.
No, you weren't.
Okay, they can't afford to date. All right, what else we got here?
So living it up.
This is the other thing. They're like 26-ish and younger, right? 27 and younger, something like that. But anyways, when I was that age, I couldn't afford to live on my own. Even with my first job, like, don't you have to like work your way up in your career before you can move out?
No.
You think your first job, like, you're gonna buy a house?
Wait, what first job are we? When are you starting to work?
Like, let's say like you finish your 4-year degree and you get a job. It's not gonna give you enough that you can just buy a house.
No, it's not.
But they're complaining about that.
Well, the American dream is to buy a house and have a dog and a picket fence you can eat.
It's because they've got no realistic expectations.
Oh, what are you saying?
Wait,
no. This is slander against this community of people that believe that they should.
When were you able to? What age were you able to pay for your own house by yourself without a roommate?
Can I just point out? Can I just point out while we're talking about this, let's not forget that we've been saying for ages that it's not a good idea to put people in a situation where they think that the world is full of cotton wool and fucking rainbows and comforters and pillows and crayons, that they could just go off into a corner and, have a little cry when they feel bad about something, and always be told that nothing is their fault, they're right about everything, and truth to the point where truth is subjective, right? So everyone can have their own personal truth. Nobody's a loser because everybody gets a medal. You're not allowed to tell parents that their kids are stupid in schools. So you have to tolerate everything, even failure, right? In what should be an education system, and part of education is correcting people. Only you can't correct them because that might hurt their feelings, because it means that they're wrong about something. So you let people go through what is supposed to be an educational institution where nobody is actually ever correcting them. They think they're right about everything. They think they're the best at everything. And they never get any kind of correction to their behaviors. And we said, maybe this isn't a good preparation for the real world. And I remember 10 years ago, 15 years ago, saying these people are going to get a real slap in the face when they step out into reality. And now we see the fruits of that exercise. People who are the most depressed, the most plagued with mental issues, who can't fucking do everything, who can't do anything. And everything seems to be like this massive chore. Everything seems like it's an insurmountable obstruction that they're trying to get through. So who the fuck saw this coming? All of us. All of us saw this coming. We knew this was going to happen. And now we're acting all surprised, saying, why is this the case? Why are they like this? Why are they like this? Because you groomed these people to fail.
I mean, remember like that TV show, and like it was based in New York, Friends, and they were all supposed to be like 21.
What show is that? I don't know.
Stop.
There was a show, Friends? There were people that were friends. Oh.
Yeah, Gen Z could never.
They can't relate.
Anyways,
We
so
go to a
like
coffee shop.
it's like, wow, you have 8 friends in a like
In an
next to each other.
apartment? Like,
that's crazy.
Weird.
You know
So
what the best thing
unrealistic.
about that was, though? Do you know what the best thing about that was?
How they could afford that.
No, you know why?
New York.
They were all white.
Oh
One of them was Italian. Does that count?
no,
No,
he was still pasty.
No. He was a
but
little
imagine a show where you have like 8 people and they're all white. Can you imagine that? No.
Not
anymore.
anymore.
No.
Yeah, there was a time where you could do that.
You can have one white person, a token white person. The rest people had.
And guess what? Guess what? Two people in a relationship with each other on a TV show, and they're white.
Oh no.
And they're not gay.
Oh,
straight people.
Dude,
That's
even
disgusting.
I know. I'm melting your brain right now. I see.
I can't handle it. Wait, can we go back to a different subject about peanut butter and jelly?
Okay.
We can't talk about Friends. We're going to get banned.
On whole wheat toast.
Okay.
There's too much straightness and whiteness.
Yes, we can't handle that.
Insanity.
We need some sort of like mixture of something else in there.
Okay, calm down.
What if there was alcohol?
So what? So the whole thing about that show was like it's impossible at that age, unless you're incredibly wealthy, you come from an incredibly wealthy family, to be able to afford an apartment in New York that was that huge, because that was huge for New York.
Huge.
It was a 2-bedroom with bathrooms in the bedrooms. Like, that's ridiculous. That's like $1 million worth apartment, even though it looked like crap. And like,
wasn't there an episode where they addressed that though? I seem to remember there was an episode where they addressed how they could afford it.
I think it was like somebody's
rent control, probably
some garbage like that. But then it was also the boys next door had an apartment, and they never addressed that. Like, one of them, like, neither of them could afford it either.
They were gay, clearly.
No, they were not. This was before.
Well, Joey was an actor, so
all actors pretty much qualify, I guess. Yep. Anyways.
There's also Sex in the City.
Yeah, but like none of these shows, did I watch or did my friends watch and go, this is realistic? It's like, if you're a trust fund baby, possibly.
Even then.
You'd have to be like a very, very high-end trust fund baby. But like none of us watching it thought our lives would be anywhere near that interesting. We all thought we're just going to have to work 3-4 jobs, save up, maybe live with our parents, maybe get married, and then they have a few jobs, and then maybe we get a house, maybe we can scrunch the down payment with some help from here and there and whatever. And like, that's,
I don't know what was going through your head, but that was not what was going through my head.
Well, that's nice.
I'm
just talking about like people I grew up with, not me in particular. I always thought like I was hot, so like I didn't have to worry about these things.
Well, you were.
Steve was like, I need to keep myself in shape so that the guy with the nice tent would like let me stay over.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get really good at sucking dick, I'm never gonna have to sleep outside.
Just imagine. I wouldn't have to sleep in my car. Oh,
Okay.
I wouldn't have a car. I would have like, a bicycle.
Can't afford a house, but I've got a cute mouth and my butt's tight.
Yeah.
The American dream.
And I got a good hand motion.
Okay. Well, a nice forearm will really get you something.
I had
better
both forearms.
Than better than rent control is a nice forearm, if you
That's
ask
right.
me.
We're for arms control. Forearm control.
Yes. So, anyways, let's conclude everything. So, would you like
On
to
that note, you sure
Yes.
you want to?
Yes. Would you like to conclude what you think Gen Z should do?
I don't know
because they're
enough
the
about
most
them.
depressed. Let me just
people. Just
stop.
work.
Stop.
I mean,
1
come
in
on.
10. What?
She doesn't even believe what she wrote down not that long ago.
Oh.
A big black. What? BBC?
Oh, they have a fear of commitment. 1 in 10 are, this doesn't make sense. Committed to being committed. Oh, because they witnessed their parents get divorced and oh, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Committed to being committed because they fear witnessing parental divorces or fear the loss of independence.
It was a BBC study, so
BBC doesn't make any freaking sense. Anyways.
Big.
Half of them are in situationships because they have a fear of rejection.
This is what I said. This is what I said. This is exactly what I said.
Actually, yeah. He does have a fear of rejection.
Who is he?
Do you want me to?
No, don't say anything. Anybody we know.
Well, it is someone we know.
No.
Simperius.
Yes, Simperius.
Yes,
Simperius for sure.
Does have a fear of rejection.
Yes,
but he clamps it down, and he moves on, and
then he just channels it into his racism.
Right, and his racism, and I think that's how he bit off his pinky finger, because he just bit off the end, like he couldn't handle it.
Okay, they are open to polyamory and casual setups.
Stupid.
But they also confuse expectations when partners are not aligned because they don't know how to communicate because they don't
Remind
have friends.
me again, polyamory. Oh yeah, polyamory. Yeah, that's the one where like all of them are cucks, but they just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, they all cuck themselves. Yeah, it's a group of them. Polyamory is a group of cucks. Oh Jesus.
Who's getting railed in that situation?
Anyways, 78%. No, wait, sorry. Only 56, so a little bit more than half have had a relationship in their teenage years compared to almost 80% of boomers.
Boomers, you can't compare to boomers.
We're comparing,
because
that's
normal.
No. You can't say they're normal either. This is like showing the steep decline in relationships.
Yeah, Gen X, I would say had about that as well, like 80%.
Yeah, I definitely
pretty much
think
everybody I knew had that.
Except for you, Stephen.
What?
You didn't have a teenage relationship.
I was in a foreign country. I don't know what was going on over in the West.
Okay.
I was sheltered.
I know. Homeschool will do that.
I had other school too. training with Israelis.
Okay, we got it. Okay, reduced in-person interactions. They do remote work, online schooling, and solitary hobbies. So they are very socially isolated post high school. The ick factor. So this is the generation that has the most icks, the quickest turnoffs.
Wait, you need to describe what.
We already talked about the ick
You're
before last time, I think. I believe so.
Bullshit.
You know what's funny? They've got the most icks, but at the same time, I think everybody looks at them and is like got the ick when they look at them.
Yes,
it's I
mean definitely.
You can't be like they're like the Uncle Fester of the family. This creepy fucking weird kid who's hiding in a closet and like only comes out and is afraid of the fucking sunlight. Everything freaks them out. They just look at you and these are people who care about like the most stupid shit. And it's like, they're going to say that they're freaked out by other people. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. You can't say like, oh, I get the ick from this, I get the ick from that. Like you guys
it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. It's worse than that. It's the pot calling the kettle the N-word.
Oh my God! Stop. Okay.
It is.
Okay. Men under 30, over 60% are single. Wow. Nearly half of Gen Z men have no teen dating experience, double the rate of all older generations.
Oh, wait, what's happening with the women?
They're all dating the same guy in a situationship, apparently. There's like the 5 guys that all the girls want, and they're all dating him. Okay, cultural. They have hopelessness, economic and global instability, fosters a why bother attitude. And what is this word? Can you read that?
Heteropessimism?
Heteropessimism? Straight women in particular express frustration with. That is a beautiful word. We need to use this in something.
We don't.
We need to use this in heteropessimism. Straight women in particular express frustration with men, which some jokingly wishing to avoid straight dating altogether due to hookup culture fatigue. So the women don't want to do hookup culture, so they just go for other women.
That's like
this proves that women are a different species.
I think so.
Steve, can you ever imagine? I'm so fed up of women. I'm so bored of like these relationships and this hookup culture.
Dude.
Yeah, it's just all of this constantly like just hopping from pussy to pussy. It's just getting so much for me. I think I might just suck on a dick.
Let's just go.
Okay, so we get it. You guys are a different thing. Moving on, skanks.
I don't believe this, Cat. Who the fuck wrote this article? What are you reading?
Right. That's what I would like to know. She's not sure.
I bet it's something on Pink News.
No.
This Hollister.
Heteropessimism is from somebody's thesis.
I bet whoever wrote it, if they're a woman, they've got a pig nose ring and they've got those ironic glasses. And if it's a dude, he looks like somebody who's got a butt plug in him.
Okay, look her up.
Now we have to find out.
It's somebody who's fat. It's somebody who's fat who's got a 1950s
You can't just say all the bad traits so that you're always right.
It is. If it's a white chick, she's fat and she's got a stupid 1950s haircut, ironic looking glasses, and a nose ring. And if it's a black chick, she's bald. It's either a bald black chick or a fat white chick.
No, not yet.
Okay, we found her.
It's a her?
Yes.
Well, wait a minute.
It's a her.
I think, it looks like could be.
Does she look like she was a woman her whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a woman.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see. I mean, it's possible.
Here we go. This is the best we could do.
Oh my God! Thank you very much. I'll take my bow.
beautiful.
God.
You know,
Yeah, I was right. Thank you.
there she goes.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's not pretend that there's this thing called heteropessimism. She's a lesbian not by choice, or by choice but not her choice.
She doesn't look that bad. It just could be that.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
she's
I
a
found
Steve,
her
don't try
bio.
and be polite now, Steve. A little while ago, you didn't know if she was a woman.
Yeah, I had my doubts. You know, you gotta watch out for these things.
She has an aunt. Oh my god, that's not her.
You were gonna say something?
I wanted to find. You have to get LinkedIn to see like everything about her.
Is it possible that maybe she was trying to create some sexy words to get her thesis out?
Well, it worked.
Philadelphia. So I don't know.
That doesn't mean
You
anything.
can tell she was so proud of herself when she said that.
She is in gender, sexuality, and women's studies somewhere.
Well,
Yeah.
She was abused.
Yeah. See,
unfortunate.
You
If
don't
there's-
know
if there's-
that. You can't
It's
say that.
Highly possible that
I mean, back in my
possible-
day, it was 1
Kat-
and 4.
Kat, she's queer for clout. That's all it
Ah,
is.
yes.
She's queer for clout.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
Gen Z also has extended adolescence, where traditional markers of adulthood, like moving out, getting married, having kids, achieving financial independence, are delayed compared to previous generations. This didn't start with Gen Z, though. It started with the millennials. So the millennials.
Well,
Okay.
millennials started the prolonged adolescence. We spoke
Yes.
about this last week.
Yes.
Wait, shouldn't we discuss? I don't know if you have done this already, but
Wait.
like Western society requires that the children move out, get their own apartment or house, and live on their own. Whereas other cultures,
Every other culture.
most other cultures have the children live at home. If
Or they
not,
just build an addition.
Yeah, they build an addition on top or below or
Yeah.
inside or whatever.
Yeah.
And pool their resources, which actually makes the family stronger
And wealthier.
and more resilient against these outward forces that may try
Yeah.
to destroy them.
Yeah.
So like this idea that it delayed like people moving out, taking longer to move out,
You
maybe
shouldn't
that's like a
have done that.
correction
I do
instead
think.
of what they're viewing it as a negative thing. Not to say that I wanted to live with my parents. I did not. I specifically wanted to get out. I don't know whether that's because were they boomers?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because my parents are boomers and I wanted just like, I want to get out, do my own thing. That's possible. That's what happened. But it's not like they were saying, when are you going to move out? When are you going to move out? They never said that.
They just made sure you wanted to move out.
No,
with every action.
It wasn't a conscious thing.
Mhm.
There was no like, never did they ever say anything like that. Yeah, did they have rules? Yeah, you want under our roof, you have all these rules where you got to follow them. Like, well, I didn't want to follow them. I did while I was under the roof. Other people did not.
See, I liked like how my dad was. It was like, oh, you can get married and he could come and live with us here. And then you guys save money. Like that's how I was raised.
Well, in certain cultures, including yours, the grandparents will move in and live with them. But
no, actually,
my grandparents moved in with us, and she said, "I can't handle this," and left. She went and moved in with her sister. It's like, no, I can't handle this.
Oh my gosh. Only 60% of 18-year-olds got their license, down 80%. That's
I mean,
cool.
there's Uber, and
Yeah, they have Uber, so they're like, why am I
Oh
gonna?
my god, these no, it's pathetic. It's a pathetic generation.
It is.
And people are going to depend on them for a pension one day.
Oh, they're not going to be able to do anything. We're toast. So
They're removing pensions. Didn't they
yeah,
remove
they
pensions?
removed them
They're
the
removing-
U.S. decades ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah, we never had pensions even when I was young. That was already gone.
And then people are living like there is a pension.
No,
In
no,
fact,
but
there
like
isn't.
no,
No,
but
they're not saving up to like replace
yeah.
the pension.
the
know what's gonna
retirement for most people that I knew growing up was like, hopefully I'll just die before I have to stop working. That was everybody's retirement plan. You know that, right? Like
What's your
hopefully,
retirement plan? Suicide.
yes.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know,
yeah.
Dr. Kevorkian, if he's still alive. Is Kevorkian still alive? Does anyone know who
No,
Dr.
that's
I know the name.
that
but
is 100-year-old joke. Please,
No, it's like he made.
we have pods now.
He was the one that made that pod.
I don't think he made that.
Yes,
pod.
he did. He made a pod. You can get the plans once you go through, you know,
self-deletion. Dude.
Yeah.
Self-deletion. Yes.
All right. So let's see. Risk aversion. Gen Z is more cautious. Avoid adult risk like drinking. Early independence and prefer the safety.
Translation: they're pussies.
Okay. All right. Digital cocooning, socializing online rather than in person. See, I do this, so I can't really,
pussies. Next.
can't really complain. They think Discord over bars. Yes, this is true. I do go to Discord rather than go out.
To go to a bar, there is some.
We can't afford. We can't afford to go anywhere. I mean, if you're Gen Z, you can't afford it.
No, you can afford it. Yeah, you just can't. You're going to be destitute. You won't be able to do anything else. That's all you can do. Is go to bars.
Just don't spend $15 on a fucking coffee. Don't spend $20 on a fucking avocado toast.
That is what they
and
told
then you might go out.
millennials.
You might be able to go out and have a life.
Yeah, like eat at home. Stop eating out. But
Gen Z doesn't even eat out because they're afraid to go outside.
But they Uber. I'm sure they do.
They Uber to like mandatory things like
Uber
doctor's
Eats.
appointments.
Like,
oh yeah, they Uber Eats. I guess they
that's
do that.
worse. Like you're paying restaurant. So restaurants are for not just food. It is for an experience. You have a waiter. You're being waited
And
on.
I like
but
the whole
Uber Eats
being served.
You're paying the restaurant. You're being served plus the fee of Uber Eats plus the tip on the. No. The whole point of a restaurant is to get like. I don't want to use the S word, but have someone wait on you.
Get slaved upon.
I love that. That's nice.
I tried to not use that, but Damon, you've decided
It's important. We need to be clear about what it is. Okay. Anyways, a year. Okay, independence age in 2021. Eurostat report pegged.
You guys are crazy. I've got to say that you guys are crazy. How much you tip?
How much we what?
It's not just how much you tip, because we tip in the UK, right?
You do.
And I know you guys tip in the States, but you guys will tip pretty much. I remember when I was in the States, everywhere, all the time.
You don't have
Whereas
a choice.
in the UK, there's this idea of like if there was something wrong with the service, you're not going to leave a tip. You're like, if there was something wrong, and I've been to a few bars and a few restaurants where I was like, this was shit, and I'm not leaving any money, because I want this person to know it was shit. Whereas in the States, it's like you'll always leave it, and that surprised me because when I was in the States, we went to this one place. I forget the name of it now. But no, it was an otherwise very nice place, and I'm sure that if we went there on another day, it would have been great service. But we just got this girl who was not in a good place, let's say, and I was just like, holy shit, this is really unprofessional. I want to get the fuck out of here. And then we had somebody at the table who made a complaint and wasn't happy with one of the dishes. And the way they made the complaint, I was thinking in my head, if you spoke to me that way and I was your server, I would be very tempted to do something to your food. And I wouldn't do it because I'm not that kind of person, but I would be tempted to. And I know how much of a cunt this girl was being that was our server. So I was like, I'm not going to eat anything else she brings us after what this person at our table, after the way this person spoke. And they weren't out of line, but it made the situation very uncomfortable. And I could see in this girl's face, like, oh, I'm going to make you eat those words. So I did not trust anything that this girl was bringing us. And I was just like, I don't want to be here. We shouldn't have come out. We should have gone somewhere else. This was a bad idea. Let's come here another day after this girl's been fired. But at the end of it, like everyone at the table was like, oh yeah, like we're going to leave a tip on the payment. I was like, really? So, well, yeah. I was like, you know what a tip is, right? And then came the excuse that the Americans use. Well, these people don't get paid. Like these people work for tips, basically. I'm like, right, yeah. Which is why she doesn't deserve to get paid. Because what she did was shit work. So why am I going to pay somebody for shit work? Like, you know, with us, it's like, well, the tip is like you give them something extra for the service. Like the service was shit. Why give it to them?
I, for one, do not tip.
Yeah, you do.
Anyone. Well, you tip for me.
Wow, that's amazing because America's usually like, you don't tip, you're fucking evil.
Yeah, they
I only tip if like I go to that place regularly and I have to keep looking at them.
Well, see, Vanta Black says something awesome, right? He just said, yeah, you've put it up. I'm the one bloke who doesn't drop coins. See, this is what I did in America one time. Well, I wasn't proud of this moment, but my friends were like, dude, you have to leave a tip. And they didn't see something that transpired with how this one waiter was behaving with a girl that was with our table. And this girl left. She left because she felt so uncomfortable. I won't say what happened because even I think it's not very polite to talk about. But this was like borderline. If she was my girlfriend, I would have knocked the fucking teeth out of this waiter. Everyone was afraid to say something because the waiter was black. And we were in California. And I'm pretty sure that the people that we were with were all registered Democrats, right? Like complete pussies. Like, you have to tip. And one of the guys literally said, he's black. I was like, what the
That's not a reason to.
So I was like, so yeah. So at the end, when we had to tip, I took the smallest note that I had in the wallet, and when we were like, he was standing there literally like a fucking bellhop, expecting us to put the money in his hand, because he came up to the table. And he took, like, we paid by card, but they were like, no, leave the tip in cash, right?
What?
And a couple of they wanted to leave the tip in cash. I don't know why.
They're trying to avoid taxes, which is
right. So anyway, like when we paid by, right. So this guy was like, I would have dropped a quarter, right? What I did was, I think it was just $1. I don't think it was anything less than $1. I literally took out one note, and everyone was like kind of putting notes in his hand, like giving, oh, thanks, buddy. And I just took out $1, and I had it like, I just pulled it out of the wallet, and I was holding it up by me. I didn't extend my hand out, and he literally, I was like thinking, he sees it and he's going to say something. He didn't say anything. He just held his hand out like, give it to me. I'm like, it's a fucking dollar. And I knew that from what transpired earlier, he knew that I saw that situation. And I said something about it, and he pretended not to hear, and he walked off. And I know he heard because he was looking at me the rest of the night, and I was looking at this motherfucker like I was going to smack him. So I was thinking, are you going to like literally try and take this dollar? Like, that's how much. I was like, at least have the balls to say, like, what, just a fucking dollar? Because the meal was a lot. It was a lot. And I know he was expecting something more. So when he held his hand out, I was like, fuck you to hell. So I dropped it on the floor. Like, I reached my hand out to him like, I'm going to give it to you, but then I just let it fall to the floor and I walked away. And he was like cursing under his breath and shit, but I was like, yeah. And the same guy who said, the same guy who said, but he's black, you can't say anything. Like, you need to leave a tip, he's black. I was like, the same guy that said that saw me do it. And he just put his hand on my shoulder and he pushed me in front of him, like, get the fuck out now, he might stab you. I was like, you fucking pussy. Oh, God, yeah, I remember that guy. I'll never forget him. But I was like, he's like, you can't do that. When he pushed me out, like, we were going out, and I suddenly realized that these people behind me are kind of like running out of the place. And I'm like, why are you running out of the place? It's like it's a crack den or something. It was a really classy restaurant. What's going to happen?
If it was a classy restaurant, that should not have happened. And that person did not deserve getting a tip because, I mean, I worked at classy restaurants. I worked at very high-end catering companies. And no, not that I got tips. I mean, I did get tips, but they were unintentional. Like, rappers would like give me, here's a 50, go give me a drink at the bar, like whatever. But
did they put it down your pants? In the front or the back?
No, they just push it up against your stomach.
Your stomach?
It's a crowd of people.
Like, while they stroke your belly button.
Yeah.
Who touched you?
A lot of them.
Okay. Yeah. Go on.
But the nice
Did
one.
you get a tip?
Yeah, I got lots of tips.
Did you give the tip?
No.
Were they putting the tips all around your face?
I was only receiving the tip.
In your mouth?
Where?
No, I didn't. I put it in my pants.
Oh, you put their tip in your pants?
It was put into my pants. And
was it just the tip?
It was just the tip.
Oh, God.
I didn't get shafted that night.
Jesus. Wow.
But they got what they wanted. So they got their drink.
Did you get what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. So as long as
You wanted the tip.
Everybody was consensual, I guess it's fine.
And if I was in their position, I would have given the tip too to get what I wanted. Because the line at the bar was ridiculous.
I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to queue. Can I just like put my cock in you and you get me a drink? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. Just stand there for a few minutes, and then sometimes it was
waiting longer than 5 minutes for a drink. Oh, God. Okay, I'll just turn to gayness then.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, I think I do need to wrap up.
Steve needs to wrap up.
Because I got to go on tomatoes for a few minutes at least.
Gonna go on that whore? No.
Disrespect.
Allegedly, she's not a whore.
Oh my God, stop.
Oh, she's nice. Is she nice?
She is nice.
Take your foot out of your ass for 2 seconds.
So I can insert hers.
Stop. Anyways, this is why we don't let Steven on all the time. Because he says inappropriate things.
So is everyone...
Is he going to be on the show? Is he going to be on the show with Tamia?
Who?
Ooh.
Who?
Steve.
It's ladies' night, so I guess.
I can get a wig.
Oh my God, do that just for like 5 seconds. We'll pretend that this is my girlfriend.
Well, she's got that tranny on her show.
Another one. You'll
She
just
has a tranny on the
yeah,
show?
she has a tranny on, so you could be another one.
Steve, I'm not being funny. Even without a wig, you look way more convincing than her.
Oh my
tranny.
gosh. Be nice.
I'll just say I'm the next Caitlyn Jenner. That's what.
Talk like Caitlyn Jenner. Ah, hey.
How you ladies doing today? Yeah. Come on, people.
Say you feel so dry today.
Yes. Anyways, so
You should come on. You should come on and in the Caitlyn Jenner voice, just be like, "Are you the one I heard about that's a whore?"
Oh my god.
You're the one I heard about a whore? Oh, ladies, come on.
Here, put this on. Close your
What is
lips.
this? No.
All right, Piggies, give me a kiss.
I see what she's doing.
We'll get you a little wig. Can you wear my bra?
No, we don't need that. No, it's not necessary. No, it's not necessary. Just make the voice. People will know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I speak the male voice on occasion. It just throws them completely off.
You know what you should do, Steve? You should come on the stream with Tomato.
I have to come
sit
on the
down
stream?
like you're sitting now,
I
right?
think that would be a little
But
a little
where-
inappropriate, but I'm into it.
But Kat, let's not say inappropriate yet because you
Okay.
don't know where I'm going.
Go on.
okay. I come on the
But
stream.
wear no pants or
And then
underwear.
get up at the end.
Yeah, get up while you're tucked back
Oh,
and
no.
just
I'm
say that line from Silence of the Lambs where you're like, I'd fuck me.
I'm doing it now.
Yes.
You should do that. Stand up like when the tranny that's on her show questions anything about what you're doing. Just stand up with the tuck back and then say, let's see yours, but say it in the Caitlyn Jenner voice.
Must be yours, ho. Come on.
Oh God.
What are you doing?
Wow. I think this could work.
What if I get excited and then I can't tuck it?
Silence. We'll cross that bridge
When you get excited, it's easier to tuck back because
No,
you're
what-
gripping onto more.
No. Okay, I don't know whether you were broken as a child, but
No, you're gripping onto more. There's like, no matter how hard he wants to stand up, there's more of it that you're holding back.
No, that would be painful. I could break something.
Yeah, it is painful, but don't be a bitch.
No, there's no like. I don't want to damage tissue. I like the ability to hold a towel, a large towel, on my coat hook.
Okay. Anyways, this is getting really inappropriately weird.
Yeah, it is.
Well, then, all I can say is when you feel like it's about to break free, okay, make sure you hit the camera with it.
Are you going to be there waiting?
Oh my.
Yes, you are.
Oh gosh.
Pop it into Kat's face. Just smack her in the chin.
Knock her out.
That's abuse. It's the best kind of abuse.
Stop being a dick.
All right, guys. I think you're having too much fun.
You don't
Ooh,
have to
Yeah, we are. Why are you trying to stop it?
Yeah.
I want neon green
She's shopping.
headphones. And what other color's good? Red?
I don't think.
Racist.
Oh, yeah.
Judging headphones by color.
Heck yeah, brah.
Can't do yellow. Can't do black. Can't do white.
I could do, they literally have brown, so I could do that, right?
Oh, no.
Well, yeah.
Gross.
You can put that shit in your ear.
Always blocked by a woman? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's you, Kat.
Oh, I get it now. This is disrespectful.
Okay. Hey.
All right. So we will see you guys next time. We'll talk about something else ridiculous next week. Until then, we will see you guys later. Have a great night. Thank you all for coming. And hope you all come tonight. Bye.
Take care, guys.